Tonight from Mustang Panther Stadium in Grapevine, Texas, it's Week 7 of Texas high school football action as the Grapevine Mustangs return home after the bye week to face the Colony Cougars.
Slide, he's going to be stopped short. And it's into the end zone for the touchdown.
Welcome to Grapevine, Texas Mustang Panther Stadium. District action continues tonight. And welcome into the broadcast, Reagan Ratcliffe along with Brendan Smith. It's a beautiful night for high school football. 74 degrees. We've got a light wind out of the southeast at 10 miles per hour tonight. The Grapevine's still looking for that first win. The Mustangs coming in 0-6. They're 0-4 in district play. The Colony 3-4 and at 1-4 in district action. And let's rewind. A couple of weeks ago, Grapevine's coming off the bye week, but 2 weeks ago, last time in action, the tough loss at Burleson. Let's start with the positive. Quite possibly their best defensive performance of the year.
Yeah, you hold really a talented quarterback in Andrew Sparks for Burleson. He hadn't had the stats that would really jump off the page, but he's a quarterback that you can see has the tools and has a really good arm, the ability to run as well. He is their offense, and you held him really in check outside of maybe one drive. It was a scoreless ball game at halftime. You felt like the Mustangs had an opportunity to steal one late, but there was a late touchdown throw by Sparks. I thought Dallas Davis had outstanding defense on that play. It was just a great catch by the receiver. So the defense, honestly, for the last 3-4 weeks has done more than enough to win. It's just you haven't gotten enough from the offensive side of the football.
Yeah, let's talk about that offense, because it's an offense that in that game against Burleson, first time they've been shut out this season, an offense that just could not get going. And they're so good on the ground game that really struggled on Friday.
Yeah, and Julian Contreras, you just gotten used to the fact that, okay, he was going to go for 100, you might go for 200, and he just could not find anywhere to run. And I haven't had a chance to hear what your conversation was with Coach DeBest, but I'm imagining he might say, too, that they felt like they were a little bit behind the eight ball because of that extra week that Burleson had to prepare for the option. But ultimately, that's not an excuse. You've got to find a way to put some points on the board. There were a couple of opportunities, if you look at the film, maybe some missed blocks here or there where they could have broken a couple of plays, and that's really all it would have taken for really 2 of the last 3 ball games, just 1 or 2 moments offensively, and you're not looking at an 0-6 record, maybe looking at something a little bit closer to 500.
Oh, Grapevine, yeah, that 0-6 record, and it has been a season full of adversity, and if the news couldn't get worse, this week you find out they're going to be without one of their big stars tonight.
Yeah, Bradley Stanier, a 6'5 senior who has already committed to Kansas State. He's going to be out for the rest of the season, and that's obviously an extremely tough blow. Selfishly, I'm upset just because it was so much fun to watch him. He's got such that high motor, and he's just constantly getting himself into the backfield, putting pressure on the quarterback, getting to ball carriers oftentimes before they get to the line of scrimmage. So not only are you going to miss what he can do physically and athletically on the field, he's a huge leader. You're going to see him on the sidelines, maybe even acting like another part of that coaching staff. But yeah, you're gonna miss Bradley Stanier for sure. Love to see some of these other guys step up, and we'll see who it is tonight.
Well, the opponent is the Colony, and the Cougars come in 3-4 on the season. Just the 1 win in district, but again, this is a team that poses some threats on the offensive side.
Yeah, offensively, their quarterback is Carson Cox, and the notes that we got from the Colony broadcasters, he is just a bull. Apparently, not bench presses, but squats 500 pounds, and so he's really difficult to bring down. They've also got a running back in Kendrick McLeodin, sort of the same way, really difficult to bring down. But probably the biggest star offensively is number 5, Xavier Green. 7 touchdowns on the year, 500-plus receiving yards. He's got 4 Division I offers already. He's going to be a talent on the field. He's going to create some issues, and he's probably already created some headaches for this defensive coaching staff.
Well, it's Grapevine and the Colony tonight from Mustang Panther Stadium. And when we come back from the break, we'll hear from Mustangs head coach Bob DeBest. That's coming up next on Mustangs Friday night on Tradio.
one location, 4 amazing brands. Grubb's family of dealerships. Located on Highway 114, 25 acres of luxury car shopping. After 75 years of serving the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro, we invite you to shop Grubb's Acura, Infiniti, Polestar, and Volvo, all in Grapevine. Our service departments are fully staffed and ready to help with walk-ins or appointments. Start with the best, skip the rest at Grubb's family of dealerships.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Welcome back to Mustang Friday Night. Grapevine and the Colony tonight from Mustang Panther Stadium, and catching up with Grapevine head coach Bob DeBess. And Coach, you come off a bye week. Take us through these last couple of weeks in preparation for the Colony tonight.
Well, first off, everything we've done starting last Monday has been geared towards having our guys as fresh mentally and physically as we possibly can for this evening. And so all the way back to last Monday, there's been a plan in place as far as how long we've stayed out there and what we've done as far as being physical. Practiced 3 times last week, 1 in helmet, 1 in shells, and then Thursday we practiced in full pads because we scrimmaged some younger guys and some varsity guys that hadn't got as much playing time. Friday morning we went to local elementary schools and middle schools and high-fived the kids and welcomed them to school that morning. And then this week's been a normal game week, starting with Monday morning. We've tried to, first and foremost, we've got to be prepared, and we have to make sure that we're prepared, and we're doing right there by the kids. But we've tried to cut back on the time that we're out there on the practice field and just tried to be more efficient. You get to a point in the season that the wear and tear starts to rear its ugly head, and we're in a little bit of a tough shape right now, just being banged up, and it's typical for football this time of year. But we just got to get some of the guys to the game as healthy as we possibly can, and so that's been the goal, like I said, since last Monday, and I think we've accomplished it. We'll find out.
Just a quick look back at that Burleson game, and the most positive that stands out is how your defense has played, maybe their best performance of the year.
I've said it was. I've said that on several occasions. I think it was their best performance of the year. 1, to only allow 9 points, that should win any game. 2, they showed a lot of resilience throughout the course of the contest. Burleson had a 19-play drive during that game. It started around midfield. And didn't get any points out of it. I mean, we kept them out of the end zone, and they got no points. That's unheard of. They had the ball in the red zone. We kept them out. We forced field goals. We blocked another extra point. Defensively, we played, in my opinion, lights out. We kept things in front of us. We didn't allow the explosive plays. We allowed 1, controlled the run game. So huge disappointment that we didn't come out with a win there. And offensively, the only word that comes to mind is inept. That's what we were. And why that was, I have no idea. It was that way from the get-go. Offensive line did not give us a chance to really get started. And it was a shame. It was a shame to waste the defensive effort, and what ended up to be a good, solid special teams effort as well.
You talk about the struggles of the offense, and any football season can be full of adversity, and this team has faced its share this season. What are the things that you're seeing just in terms of positive signs and glimpses of encouragement from this team?
Well, overall, it still comes down to fight. There hasn't been a game that I don't think that we've looked at the tape throughout and said, we're just not playing as hard as we need to, or we're not giving the effort that we need to. Attitude has been overall pretty dang good in light of where we're at. There's been frustration, which is normal, especially for this age kid. Sometimes they don't know how to express, how they're feeling without maybe showing some outward frustration, which I don't like, but, you got to give them a little bit of grace. They worked their tails off. They've done everything we've asked as far as practice and what have you. And, we don't have anything tangible to show for it, and that's hard. I mean, it's hard for competitors. And so I would say the positives are just the fight, the attitude, sticking together, still outwardly enjoying going out there and spending time with each other and practicing and preparing and believing that, we're going to get a win.
Well, the Colony is the opponent tonight. We come back, we'll talk to head coach Bob DeBess about both sides of the football night, offense and defense, and the keys to the game. That's coming up next here on Mustang Friday Night.
Fall is here, and we're clearing out all 2024 floor models to make room for our new 2025 collections.
It's out with the old and in with the new during Stacy's 2024 floor model sale.
Shop casual dining sets perfect for everyday family meals or formal dining rooms guaranteed to level up your holiday celebrations.
This is your chance to take home name brand furniture at unbeatable prices. Hurry in today. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Shop the 2024 floor model sale going on now. And remember, you're shopping at Stacy's,
You're shopping with family, and you're not burning money.
Mustang Friday Night continues. Grapevine and the Colony tonight at home, and let's talk about this Colony team. And starting on the offensive side, you had struggles a couple of weeks ago against Burleson, but what are you hoping to iron out tonight? What becomes keys for your team on the offensive side?
First down is critical. We were behind the chains an incredible amount of times the other night, and we're not very good when we're behind the chains. And so we've got to stay ahead of the chains. We've got to be more efficient on first down. We sustained no run game the other night, and obviously that's who we are. We got to get Julian going again. But in order for Julian to get going, the offensive line and the tight ends have got to do their job of controlling the box and reestablishing the line of scrimmage. We've done a nice job of minimizing penalties and minimizing pre-snap stuff, minimizing, turnovers. We got to continue to do that. But more than anything, we got to help our defense out, man. We got to keep them off the field and take advantage of scoring opportunities when we have them.
On that defensive side, what do you expect to see tonight from the Colony, a team that seems to maybe attack you more horizontally than vertically, and what becomes keys for your defense?
The big key for the defense is keeping everything inside and in front of us. In other words, when I say keep it inside, we've got to make sure that we maintain leverage on the outside to force everything back into our help, because they do want to get the ball in the perimeter and run away from pursuit. And so that's going to be crucial. Tackling's always crucial. It's always critical for everybody, but it's crucial for us. What we have not done a good job of this year defensively is creating turnovers. We have not had very many takeaways at all. We're trying. We're working at it. We practice it every stinking day. But we got to do it. We got to do it on Friday night, and especially with our offensive struggles. We need to create some short fields for our offense. So we can, produce as far as the scoreboard is concerned. And so we got to have some help on special teams as far as that's concerned. And like I said, that's the big thing that we've been missing all year long is the takeaways on defense.
How about that third phase of the game, special teams? You've seen some bright spots this year. I think Cade more than 7 and 9 in the field goal department. But special teams on a game like this, trying to get that first victory, where do you think you could maybe find some points tonight?
Well, what you hope to find is what you hope on every return, especially on a punt return, is you hope that you make that first down. In other words, that return gets you 10 yards or so that gets you that much closer to the goal line. The same thing is true with kickoff return. We showed some signs last time out against Burleson of kind of putting some returns together and sticking on blocks and giving our guys a chance. We need to continue, on those lines. Still a little bit shaky as far as kickoff coverage is concerned. So we've made some changes there personnel-wise and schematically to try to make it a little safer for us, I guess is what you'd say. But I think more than anything, just creating somehow or another, whether it's a block or a big return, somehow creating a momentum play, some kind of a game-changing, momentum-changing play. And I keep going back to help the offense, because we got to get some things generated offensively, and certainly if you can get help from the other two phases, that's a big plus.
Coach, as always, we appreciate the visit and wishing you all the best tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
That is head coach Bob DeBest. We come back. More to come on Mustang Friday night.
Clock is ticking. It's last call on 24s at Classic Chevrolet. As the #1 dealer in the world, a huge selection of 24s remain with model year-end savings, like new Silverados, 14 grand off MSRP. Or 0% APR is back. Time is running out to get model year-end savings before they're sold. New Silverados, 14 grand off MSRP will not last. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com now.
Back to Grapevine, Texas, Mustang Panthers Stadium. Getting ready for the Mustangs to come out tonight along with the Colony district action, and gets to our keys to the game tonight for Grapevine Mustangs. Let's start on the offensive side. For Bob DeBest, you could hear just maybe the frustration on the offensive side. He's an offensive guy, run the triple option all these years, and it's an offense that's really struggled. What stands out being key tonight against the Colony?
Yeah, and I think one thing that you saw on, 2 weeks ago on Friday night, there was really some struggles up front, and so everything does start with that offensive line. We've had some great moments from guys like Daniel Campos, and then you look at the rest of that offensive line. They're big guys. They average close to 270 or so on the offensive line. So need to get back to being just that team that can punish you with the running game and punish you up front. And then, as you heard Coach DeBest say, this is a team that's going to try to attack you horizontally with those screens to the outside. So it's going to be really key for that secondary to keep everything inside, force it back to the hashes, and avoid those big plays. And then, of course, the special teams. A lot of times you look at special teams and you think, okay, just the field goal kicker and maybe the punter, but you start thinking about, okay, we got to make sure we cover kicks better. And that's something that Coach DeBest pointed out. You nearly broke a kick last week, and so you'd love to see. He mentioned the defense wanting to have that big play and that turnover. You'd also love to see the special teams really spark you and create that game-changing type of play.
Yeah, Mustangs going for that first win tonight in district action. The Colony with one district win on the season. They're 3-4 overall. And it is a terrific night for football as you take a look at the Grapevine Mustangs making their way. That is the Mesa Mexican Cuisine Mustang Walk. As you take a look at it now, Grapevine decked out in the red jerseys, the blue pants, the white helmets tonight as we get ready for Texas high school football. We'll step aside for another break. We come back. It's a look at our starting lineups for the Mustangs. That's right around the corner on Mustang Friday night. Mustang Panthers Stadium here in mid-October as the Mustangs walking through the crowd, that traditional walk here at Mustang Panthers Stadium. Good crowd here on hand tonight. Mesa Mexican Cuisine at Mustang Walk as they await the Colony Cougars. Let's take a look at our starting lineups tonight for Grapevine. It will be a little bit different look, particularly on the defensive side, but let's start on the offense. That offensive line, no changes across the O-line. Talon Sneed, the tackles along with Daniel Campos, Bergen Weir at one guard, Spencer Williams on the other side, and Will Mason is the center. Take a look at the skill players here for Grapevine. Starting with that receiving core, Kel Thompson. It will be Ian Hatton there at the Y position, Christian Friedrich as well. May see Ryland going in that mix as well. And then it all revolves around the quarterback, junior in Jalen Holmes. And then Julian Contreras is the workhorse. Julian coming in tonight with almost 800 yards rushing. He's one of the top running backs in the Metroplex. And there you see Ryland going there at the H. That is the Mustangs offense tonight. And then defensively, the biggest change, you'll see Bradley Stanier here on this graphic, but Stanier will not be in that starting lineup tonight. And it will be interesting to see how Grapevine manages without him and what changes they make across the defensive front line. That defensive line, probably expect to see Luke Gormley come down tonight, play the defensive end. Cedric Hicks, Andres Garcia rounding out that three-man defensive front, a 3-4 look. The linebackers on the inside, you know Tatum Evans is going to be there. Cooper Towery, where will they play him? Thomas Powers. Luke Hecht is one that they've seen with a lot of action. You would expect Hecht to get the call tonight because Stanley being out. And then the corners were there, Dallas Davis, Linnell Randolph, and then the safeties, Carlos McKay and Brady Boozer. You take a look at that defensive backfield. A couple of guys there that you were talking about that have got some recent offers.
They have, yeah. Carlos McKay and Dallas Davis both posted online that received an offer from Culver Stockton, an NAIA university. So they're going after that Mustang secondary. So congratulations to those two, and hopefully there'll be some more schools that come calling based on what they put out over the next couple of weeks.
Now we're just about 7 minutes away from kickoff. The Colony and Grapevine both getting set to come out. Colony and Grapevine both getting set to come out onto the field. It is a terrific night for football. 74 degrees here in Grapevine this evening as we get you ready for district action. It's all around the corner, Grapevine and the Colony here on Mustang Friday night.
One location, 4 amazing brands. Grubb's family of dealerships. Located on Highway 114, 25 acres of luxury car shopping. After 75 years of serving the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro, we invite you to shop Grubb's Acura, Infiniti, Polestar, and Volvo, all in Grapevine. Our service departments are fully staffed and ready to help with walk-ins or appointments. Start with the best, skip the rest at Grubb's family of dealerships.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Team captains coming out onto the field. You see Brandley Stanier there, number 43 in shorts tonight. Rest of that Grapevine Mustang team captains, Brady Boozer, number 9, number 11, Tatum Evans, an inside linebacker, and then across that offensive line in Bergen Weir, number 70. And for the Colony, it is Kendrick McClodden, the running back, who wears number 2, number 6, Sean Keenan, number 15 in
Jaden Rogers, and number 74 across the offensive line, and Wyatt Robinson. It'll be Grapevine. Just say Grapevine won the toss because the Colony has won the toss, and see what they want to do. They're going to defer. So head coach and Rudy Rangel will defer, and that will give Grapevine the football. So the Mustangs will get the football first. You'll see Jalen Holmes and this Grapevine offense. You know, Bob DeBest had to sit on this for 2 weeks. Offense that did not score a point against Burleson. Couldn't have sat very well with him, but you know they've been very eager to get back on the field tonight.
Yeah, and he didn't pull any punches when he was talking with you either. He said inept was the way that he felt the offense looked, and it was something that he hadn't seen all year, and we haven't seen it either. In an offense that if you tell them going into the game that the defense is only going to give up 9 points, I don't think there's any question that, Julian Contreras is going to get going. We're going to get Jalen Holmes loose, and the Mustangs are going to win that football game. So want to see them get back to more of that running power offense. We talked about how important that offensive line is going to be tonight. Two teams right now that out of that playoff chase at the moment, but really wanting to play and for Grapevine, get that first win under the belt and then see if you can end the rest of the season with a better taste in your mouth.
One game already in the books from last night. Take a look at district action in District 3-5A. And tell us about the game yesterday. Colleyville Heritage taking on Arlington Seguin.
Yeah, so you got a battle this week of the top 4 teams in the district are all playing each other. And last night it was Colleyville Heritage who moved their record to 5-2 overall, their 4th win in district. They got a 24-14 win over Arlington Seguin. So Seguin is now 3-3 in district play. Colleyville Heritage is 4-1. And then the two that are undefeated are playing each other tonight. Argyle and Mansfield Summit, both at 4-0. It's Argyle 5-1. They've won 5 in a row after losing their first ball game. And then for Summit, they started out at 0-2. They have won all 4 games in district. So the top 2 teams in District 3-5A will be battling tonight. And then also along those lines will be Burleson and Timberview. Those are 2 teams right on the cusp of those playoff positions. So some important games going on in the district tonight.
Yeah, Burleson had such a slow start to the year. Now you look up, they're 500 across the board at 3-3, 2-2 in the district. People may look at that Mansfield Summit team and say, my goodness, that's a team that Grapevine took to overtime, yet they're undefeated in district.
Yeah, and like I said, they started out with a couple of losses to begin the year, but I think they're getting healthier as they move forward, and so it should be a really fun matchup there. Mansfield Summit, the host tonight.
Well, let's send it down to the field here at Mustang Panther Stadium for tonight's national anthem. Well, fall temperatures have finally arrived in the Metroplex. It actually feels like football weather tonight here at Mustang Panther Stadium. 73 degrees as we get you ready for the Mustangs and the Cougars. Grapevine against the Colony in District 3-5A action. We're glad you're with us tonight. Reagan Ratcliffe, Brendan Smith. And for the Mustangs, they're winless on the season. They're trying to avoid falling to 0-7. For the Colony, 3-4 overall, 1-2 in district play. They're coming off a 10-7 loss to Burleson last Friday. Another big test tonight for the Mustangs in what's probably the toughest district in the state of Texas, or one of them, in Class 5A. So many heavyweights, and Grapevine has had a difficult season thus far, trying to right the ship tonight. and they'll get the football right out of the gates. Probably the biggest storyline we touched on in the pregame, though, tonight. You're playing without your biggest star, Bradley Stanton.
Yeah, you hate seeing that, and you knew he was going to be there in front and center supporting his teammates. He was the first guy out in the Mustang walk. He was one of the 4 captains that we saw in that toss, and he's going to probably be in the ears of a lot of his teammates as well as this ball game goes along. But, hey, you got a Colony team at 3-4, and they feasted thus far on teams that have been struggling this year, the teams that have had winning records. For the most part, they've lost. We can dive in a little bit of that a little bit deeper. So it's not a game that Grapevine needs to come in and feeling like it's already done. They've got the horses to be in this. They can play a lot better than what they did a couple of weeks ago, and hopefully they can get that first win of the season.
Now the Colony will tee it up. Not much of a wind tonight, about 8 miles per hour out of the southeast, so kicking into a slight wind is Patrick Putz, a senior right-footed kicker. Lights are on, gorgeous night here in Grapevine. Texas high school football is underway, and this will come down, and a fair catch is signaled for from Luke Stewart. So here comes that Grapevine offense out onto the field. Started their own 25-yard line. Jalen Holmes and company. The Colony defense, led by defensive coordinator Anthony King, who's in his 11th season. One thing they want to do is bring some pressure.
Yeah, they want to get in your grill quickly. And so it'll be interesting to see how they counteract that type of pressure with the option type of offense that Grapevine runs. Can they take advantage of some of that aggressiveness with the run game?
Here comes Jalen Holmes in company. They'll operate out of a 2-back set. One thing Bob DeBest will give you is a lot of looks, formations, motion. And here they start out of the pistol with 2 backs. Graham, the freshman, Contreras is in behind Holmes on first down with an H-back to the right. And on the zone read, it is Contreras who is wrapped up and met immediately in the backfield. Up by the big defensive lineman there in Austin Bob.
Yeah, that was a lot of what we saw a couple of weeks ago against Burleson. There was just no room for Julian Contreras to run. So you knew they wanted to get him the ball early. Gave it to him on that first play, no gain. And Coach DeBest talked about constantly being behind the chains, and that's not the first down you want to start the ball game.
It was Jaden Rogers who actually made that tackle, 6 foot, 210-pound senior inside linebacker. And on second down and long, now here is Contreras. A little bit more running room this time off the right side. He's close to the 30. They can mark him down at the 28. He'll set up a third down and a long 7 coming up.
Yeah, I thought he had a chance to break that for a little bit more, but good job by that Colony defense to recover. Or as you mentioned, a little bit more room this time for Contreras. That's the type of run. If that's first down, you feel really good about it. But as you mentioned, a long 3rd and 7 here on your opening drive.
Well, here's where the Colony can pose some problems. Expect pressure here from defensive coordinator Anthony King. It is a defense that's predicated on a lot of pressure and blitzing. They walk up 2 outside linebackers on 3rd and 7. Holmes motions Contreras out with time to throw, and intercepted at the 40. It was nearly intercepted by Ivan Bisnick, the inside linebacker, and then picked off by Jeffrey, and it is Colleyville's the Colony's football at the 40-yard line of the Mustangs.
Well, that's a tough break there because initially that pass was there. Really good protection that time from the offensive line. They gave Jalen Holmes a pretty clean pocket, but just missed the initial receiver who was streaking, got the tip, and, of course, that ball intercepted. So great first defensive drive there for the Colony. And this Grapevine defense has played so well the last few weeks is going to have to start in their own territory.
And here comes quarterback Carson Cox. He's a 6 foot, 225-pound senior who will run the show here for the Colony on first down. There is that screen out to Xavier Green. He is stacked up and run out of bounds. Nice open field tackle up top by Thomas Powers.
I think that was Dallas Davis on the outside who did what we had talked about, trying to contain those receivers on that type of bubble screen. He took the block, forced the receiver back inside.
Pick up a 4 on 2nd down and 6. Cox fires. Pass caught. Again up top by Green. Close to the sticks of the 30.
Yeah, quick 4 or 5 yard out. He points first, and I thought he might have been a step short of it. And they're going to give him the first down. So it's going to say 1st and 10, the 30.
Well, they could not get the football to Xavier Green last week against Burleson. And Rudy Rangel has made it a point this week that they are going to get the ball to number 5. In 2 plays right out of the gates. Both times have been to him. This time on the ground. Green looking to get outside. You see his speed. He is inside the 20. Boy, a quick burst from the 6', 155-pound junior.
Yeah, Carlos McKay has to make that play to save an even bigger play, but that's where you were thinking more so the passing game, wanting to keep those receivers inside. Well, running back too. Running back's able to get around the edge, and you end up having 5 or 6 red shirts just chasing them.
It is a first down. They said the Green actually got to the 17. So on the opening drive here for the Colony after the interception. Grapevine with a 3-man front defensively. The throw to Green is high. They've gone down on all 4 plays, and Green turning and finding some room off that right side. He gets to about the 7 is where they'll mark him down.
Yeah, we talked about Xavier Green just briefly in the pregame. He is their number 1 weapon. I'm not sure how they didn't get him the ball last week. They do have a very balanced and a good receiving core. It's not just the Xavier Green show.
First and goal at the 7. 3 minutes into this one. Here's the inside handoff. First time they've gone on the ground to McClodden. Big running back.
I think the ball might have come out.
Yeah, Grapevine's calling for it. They say they've got it, and they do. It's Evans who came out of there. Grapevine's got the football right back, and each team with a turnover here early. There's a lot of disagreeing from that Colony offense, but it is a fumble. Tatum Evans has got it, and now Grapevine's got the ball deep in their own territory.
Well, that's exactly what Coach DeBest said that he needed to see from the defense. They had only forced 5 turnovers this season, and what a time to do it. I mean, there were so many bodies there. It looked like the ball came out. I could not tell you who got their hands on that football, but nonetheless, huge time for that 6th turnover and saving some points.
Now, that interception that Jalen Holmes threw was just his 2nd of the year. Back on offense now for their 2nd drive from their own 7, the shadows of their own end zone. As the handoff to Contreras, he's met immediately at defensive front line, and there is that inside linebacker again in Jaden Rogers, who comes in tonight close to breaking the record for career tackles in the Colony history. He stands 6 foot, 210-pound senior. It is a veteran linebacking core. All 4 of those linebackers and the 3-4 look are seniors. Bliznick and Rogers, the inside backers, and Dominic Jeffrey and Trey Simmons, the Duncanville transfer on the outside. There's a 2nd down and 9.
They're bringing the blitz.
Walk up 2 outside linebackers. Now Contreras motions over. You got 4 on the play clock. Contreras again. There's room right up the middle. Contreras a burst into the secondary now. He loses the football at the 30. A scramble for it. The Colony says they've got it. Or Contreras, who just so rarely fumbles. In fact, this Grapevine team, while they've not had a lot of takeaways, they've not turned the ball over all that often this year. In fact, coming in tonight, just only 3 turnovers on the season. They've given the ball back to the Colony twice now.
And coming off the field, Julian Contreras just banging his head. So frustrated with himself. He finally broke it. And you see the hole here. And a great strip. That comes from Sean Keenan, who knocks that ball loose. So 3 possessions, 3 turnovers.
7:54 to go in the first. Cougars with the ball at the Mustangs 30. Both their drives, they've started inside Mustang territory. Here's McClodden. Stood up at the 25. He runs forward for a pickup of 5 yards.
It's only 4 possessions in, but Grapevine starting at their own 20, their own 10, and then you got a Colony starting at their own 40, now their own 30.
Carson Cox, senior quarterback, changes the play. Plenty of time on the play clock at 20. Play action. Fires that pass and a diving attempt at around the 10-yard line. It is incomplete. That will leave the Cougars a 3rd down and 5. Again, looking for Green on that play.
Yeah, and the first time that we saw them, I wouldn't necessarily say that's down the field, but it wasn't the bubble screen for the first time. You saw a slant, and it looked like the receiver in Xavier was open, but for some reason, passed just a little bit low and ends up hitting the turf.
3rd down and 5.
Xavier Green was the name I was looking for.
Green.
My goodness.
He's got 4 Division I offers.
I should remember.
Big
it's not like
time.
it's a difficult name.
Big-time basketball talent as well, who's had some offers. There's this pass again to Green, and he's going to go in. Well, they come right back to him. We got a feeling we're going to call his name a lot tonight. Cougars are on the board first with 7:13 to go.
And a little bit extra after there is Green didn't like that Brady Boozer bumped him once he got into the end zone, but that's just an outstanding athlete on the outside making a play and then just getting right off the cornerback who tried to make the tackle. So didn't get a ton of play last week, but this week he has been their number one guy. And there you see right there what Green was upset about. You see the touchdown. And it was Dallas Davis who just could not wrap him up. But then there's Boozer at the end running into him.
Extra point, good. The Colony's got a 7-0 lead. A wild one already. 3 turnovers into this one in the first 4 possessions. And the Colony takes advantage on the 25-yard touchdown pass from Carson Cox to Xavier Green. This is Mustang Friday night. Seven nothing the Colony on the 25-yard touchdown pass. Carson Cox to Xavier Green. Grapevine's going to get the football. They've turned the ball over twice already, their first 2 possessions. Well, we talk about Bob DeBess and the frustrations that this offense had 2 weeks ago against Burleson. You had to sit on that because of the bye. Oh, he had to be so eager to get back out here offensively. This has been a disastrous start offensively.
Not at all the way that you wanted to start things, obviously. And it's 2 guys that have not done what they've done so far. Jalen Holmes doesn't throw a ton of interceptions. And as you mentioned, Julian Contreras doesn't fumble the ball very often. So 2 of your leaders, and you get punched in the mouth early. And it'd be a great time to respond and put some sort of points on the board.
Well, Grapevine will have this at their own 25 to begin their 3rd possession. We're not even halfway through the first quarter. 7:13 left to go in the first. So Mustangs offense averaging 245 yards per game. The majority of that on the ground. A $186 rushing per game. Only 59 yards passing per game. Although Jalen Holmes had a standout performance. You go back to that Birdville game. He threw for 207 yards that night against Birdville. Here's an interesting formation. We talk about the formations that Grapevine will show you. That is a true power eye, the pistol. And it's Contreras, and nobody fooled that time. That is Trey Simmons. Mentioned the transfer from Duncanville, 6'3", 205 pounds. Made that stop in the backfield, another loss of 3.
Yeah, we've yet to see Contreras go to the second option on the option play. He's given it to Contreras every single time. The only time that they haven't has been on that throw that was tipped and intercepted. So there hasn't been a ton of room outside of the one that Contreras broke before he fumbled. Offensively, need to get something going here on 2nd and long.
Call it 12 here for Grapevine. Spread out, 2 receivers stacked each side of the formation. And you see that pressure coming from the Colony. Holmes, the throw, when nobody picked up that safety there, and Sean Keenan, who came down and made that tackle quickly. On the receiver now, a 3rd down, and they'll make it about 15 coming up.
Yeah, a play that unfortunately just took a little bit too long to develop. By the time that ball's caught, there's a defender right there to make the play.
Grapevine's gone backwards here on this drive, so it'll be actually 3rd and 14. Need to get to their own 35. Holmes, that long snap count. He'll snap it typically inside 5 seconds on the play clock. He gets it off with 3. Holmes setting up a screen for Contreras. Just needs a couple of blocks. Great vision by Contreras. And then he rumbles, stays on his feet. Boy, that run right there typifies the effort you're going to get out of number 23 this year, Julian Contreras. Outstanding pickup there on 3rd and long.
Now, you mentioned it that he just needed a couple of blocks, but then he had to do a lot of work on his own and needed a couple of blocks to get an opportunity. And then, he just continued to motor. We're going to look at Contreras here. Yeah, set up the screen. Good patience by Contreras, and then see the block set up here. And that's just pure Julian. That is a strong-willed man right there picking up the first down.
Two backs along with the H-back in Hatton on the option. Boozer met, fumbled the football. My, oh my, the Colony's got it, and it's the third turnover in as many possessions for Grapevine. And for the third straight drive, the Cougars are going to start with the football inside Mustang territory.
Well, you finally got something going, and every time you do, you turn the football over. And Brady Boozer, mainly known for his defensive prowess, but always itching to go both ways. He got an opportunity offensively, and he doesn't look like he's right now. He is stumbling around a little bit, but boy, 3 turnovers to begin this ball game. I mean, you talk about putting yourself even further behind the 8 ball.
Well, if it wasn't for a fumble by the Colony down at the 7-yard line on their opening possession, this could be getting ugly real quick. It's 7-0 right now. Cougars with the ball at the Mustangs 43. Cox going deep, got a man open, but he threw it behind the intended receiver in Carmelo Torres.
And they went after Brady Boozer there, and luckily that Torres was not on the same page with Carson Cox, because that play was there. Boozer had kind of been a little bit turned around, but throw just a little bit off target.
Second down and 10. Been a heavy dose of passing from Carson Cox. We've called Kendrick McLeod's name once, running back. There's movement up front. I believe that's going to be on Kelvin Iowa, the 6'4", 285-pound sophomore left tackle. We'll make it second down and 15. Oh, they're close to midfield. They've still not run a play inside their own territory.
That's true. Push them back a little bit further here.
Well, the Iowa, the big kid right there that moved, how about that? A young sophomore talent. He's got 6 offers already as a sophomore. The likes of Tulsa, New Mexico, and the University of North Texas all on his list. Big, strong, young kid there at the left tackle spot. Second and 15, in short motion, Canzano across. Now Cox on the give. McLeod, quick burst, and he's up to about the 42 before he's knocked off his feet.
Yeah, McLeod, the guy that just doesn't go down real easy. He's got those big, strong legs. He's a junior, 6 foot, 200 pounds. A good year, though, thus far. He's up over 550 yards carrying. He's a good weapon to have along with Xavier Green on the outside.
We wonder tonight what Grapevine would do with Bradley Stanier out. It is Evans who's come down and played that defensive end spot. He's on the right side of your screen, number 11. That is a position he's very familiar with. All district last year as a defensive end as a sophomore. He's made that transition to an inside linebacker. He plays defensive end spot tonight. Grapevine brings some pressure. They pick it up. Cox is going deep. Got a man down there. Underthrows him, and it's picked off by Linnell Randolph. Down inside the 5. Randolph on the return, still on his feet. Randolph to the 35. It's a turnover circus so far here with 4.5 to go in the first.
And that was not your run-of-the-mill everyday interception. That took some outstanding effort by Randolph to make that catch. Boy, initially it looked like Xavier Green was going to streak to the end zone, and if Carson Cox could put enough air on it that it was going to be a touchdown, but instead it's an outstanding play by Randolph. Get a good look at it here. Just bombing up the left side, and then he's got to go make that play, and then a great job to return and take it back the other way.
Well, what a wild first quarter. We've seen 6 possessions, 5 turnovers, 3 for Grapevine. They've had an interception and 2 fumbles on their first 3 drives. For the Colony, they fumbled, they thrown the pick, and they also had the touchdown pass. Holmes to the air, incomplete, and another one nearly picked off of the tip. Thrown high to Frederick, and it's incomplete.
That's another situation there where Holmes had the receiver just a little bit out in front. Holmes he hasn't had a ton of opportunities to throw the football, but when he has this year, he's been very accurate. completion percentage. It was, up around over 50%. It was up around 60 a couple of weeks ago.
Junior quarterback who stands 5'9", 195. Works with 3 backs in the backfield. Kind of an inverted wishbone look here on 2nd down and 10. We'll run the option near side. This is Graham, the freshman, in great pursuit as they track him down in the backfield. That's the outside linebacker, Dominic Jeffrey, who got there. It's a loss of 4. Grapevine really struggling to run the football.
And unfortunately, the one play you broke it, you gave the ball back to the Colony. So here you are, behind the chains here on a 3rd and 14 now.
They break that huddle with 17 seconds on the play clock. Holmes takes his time, clock running at 3:45 to go in the first. Holmes going to step back and throw. A man in his face immediately. That's Jaden Rogers, the inside linebacker who came off the edge and got to Holmes, who just had no time to throw that football. And Grapevine now a 3 and out.
Rogers has been a fixture for the Colony throughout his career. He's close to breaking the Colony record in career tackles, and he didn't give Holmes any chance to throw the football there. So you do force the turnover, but end up going backwards by about 15 yards.
Holmes to punt, stands at his 5, and that's over his head. He may have time from the back of his end zone. He does, and he gets away as good a kick as possible. How about this? He got a chance to flip the field a little bit. That's past midfield into the 42. Boy, Jalen Holmes, that's an outstanding job of keeping his composure, and that he barely had a yard to spare in the back of the end zone.
I don't know how he tiptoed and didn't step on the out-of-bounds line. That's one of the most impressive plays. Holmes, first of all, you got to get a good bounce so it doesn't go out of bounds. He's got less than a yard to spare and somehow puts the best kick of the year on tape. Just rare. That ball landed that's about 50 yards in the air?
He averages 48 a kick, so that's well beyond his average.
He got a hold of it.
So at the 42, first time that the Colony has started their own possession.
The first time that they're in their own territory is on that punt.
They'll operate with 3 wides here. 2 turnovers for the Colony on their first 3 possessions. Carson Cox, quick play action. Pass tipped at the line. That's Tatum Evans. He got his paw on it there, and it's knocked away and complete.
Yeah, so with Tatum switching and going back to that defensive line spot, you're going to see some more action for a handful of guys there. You've got Luke Hecht that is going to step up, Michael Utorka. A handful of guys that are going to get a little bit more time.
Well, this is Xavier Green in one of the oddest pre-snap plays you'll see. Green just moved outside. If we can get this on replay, this is bizarre. I don't know what you call this. It's like a little whirly bird action. They just all twisted and turned in unison. Watch this synchronized move here between and they just move Green over to the quarterback spot.
I like it.
That's one way to become a Wildcat quarterback.
It's not quite as crazy as the ring around the rosy play that the Kansas City Chiefs did a few years ago, but there's some creativity there.
3rd down and 7 here for the Colony.
You start doing that up here together.
Right? There's no spinning this time. Cox throws, and Green, did he get a foot in? My, that's a great catch. It's short of the line to gain by about a yard.
Green has hauled in a couple of balls that have not been thrown real well by Carson Cox. That's a receiver helping out his quarterback, and we might see the Philly special here.
Yeah, here it comes.
The tush push.
Cox driving. He's a bull. 500-pound squatter. Was there any doubt who was going to get the ball right there? 6 foot 225. He is a brick house running that football. He's got what looks to be the first down. Well, they spot him at the 48.
They're moving the chains now.
They are. It was right at the stick, so the Colony's got the first.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you really prepare for that defensively at this level. I mean, there's not a bunch of teams that I think will run that, but you start mentioning what Carson Cox can do in the weight room, and you start thinking that that's pretty similar to what the stories you hear about Jalen Hurts and how they run it in Philadelphia.
Now back into Mustang territory. Cox on a play action. Pressure's coming. He throws, and that one was nearly intercepted at the 40. He threw behind Thomas Powers, the outside linebacker, who was the closest man there at the 40, and it's incomplete.
As Michael Utorka, we just talked about him stepping up and getting a few more opportunities. He was the one that nearly got that sack. And if you're Carson Cox, you're probably just thankful that that ball wasn't intercepted. As Utorka, you see number 12 there, top of your screen, comes flying in, knocks over the receiver, or rather the running back that was serving for pass protection. And, yeah, there were just two Mustangs had a chance.
Second and long. High snap. Cox to throw. He slings it, and it's caught, trying to hold on for dear life. Jalen Gaines breaks the tackle, and then now a foot race. Gaines gets in. There are no flags. A man is down for Grapevine. I think that's Dallas Davis who is down. And Jalen Gaines with his first touchdown of his young career as a sophomore.
And that good throw from Carson Cox, but the majority of this is the work after the catch. It's a good throw, and you see Gaines making the play, and then he swings around Davis. Davis, you're hoping he's okay. As Gaines able to sneak his way into the end zone, but obviously you're concerned there with Dallas Davis, who is still down.
Davis has been the starting corner all season long for Grapevine, a guy that you highlighted in the pregame that was one of those stars defensively against Burleson. And they're already without Ashton Player, a 5'11 senior corner who's not available tonight. Well, you'd hate to see Dallas Davis not able to come back. He is up and able to walk off the field. So that's a good sign for number one for Grapevine as we get ready for this extra point.
Yeah, he had a couple of chances on the tackle, and once he didn't make the first tackle, he got back up and looked okay. So I'm not exactly sure where the injury happened, but he's thankfully walking off the field in some discomfort. Looks like he's holding that left side.
The extra point now coming from Patrick Putz as Davis is almost off that sideline. Now he's reached the Grapevine sideline. He got 1:49 to go in the first quarter. Chance to make it 14-0, and it feels like it could be a lot worse.
No doubt about it. You've forced a couple of turnovers, which is the recipe for success, but you've turned the ball over yourself 3 times and had a 3-and-out.
Extra point is good. The Colony up 14-0. Grapevine's got their work cut out for them now. With 1:49 to go in the first, Mustangs down 2 scores early here on Mustang Friday night.
Fall is here, and we're clearing out all 2024 floor models to make room for our new 2025 collections.
It's out with the old and in with the new during Stacy's 2024 floor model sale.
Shop casual dining sets perfect for everyday family meals or formal dining rooms guaranteed to level up your holiday celebrations.
This is your chance to take home name brand furniture at unbeatable prices. Hurry in today. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Shop the 2024 floor model sale going on now. And remember, you're shopping at Stacy's.
You're shopping with family, and you're not burning money.
48-yard touchdown pass from Carson Cox to Jalen Gaines, young sophomore. You see how talented he is going to be. This is a fairly young, talented team. You look at the skill positions. Gaines a sophomore, Green's a junior, McLeod, the running back, is a junior. We're talking about the talented big sophomore left tackle in Kelvin Iowa, 6'4", 285. So for head coach Rudy Rangel, there's some promise in the future for this Colony team.
And they've got a good guy running the offense as well, a former Kansas State quarterback, Joe Hubner. Got the guys behind the scenes and on the field to potentially put together a pretty good run in the next couple of years.
Stewart with the fair catch. Grapevine will start their 5th possession of the first quarter. This will be from their own 25-yard line. An interception on their first drive, fumble on the second drive. They fumbled on their third, and then had a 3-and-out on their fourth. There's been a few plays that they've had some pop. He had one on the run by Contreras that he fumbled, the other on a great screen pass that Contreras used terrific vision on a 3rd and 14 and turned it into a first down. Those have been the only 2 bright spots so far for the Mustangs offense. 1:49 to go in the first.
Yeah, got to stop giving the ball back at the most basic terms. You've got to take care of the football.
Holmes on first down.
Heavy blitz shown on that left side.
And they run away from it. Contreras bounces outside. pickup of about 6.
There's more of that vision that you talk about from Julian Contreras as he got behind a couple of those guys there in the front of the offensive line that looked like Spencer Williams, Will Mason leading the charge. Trying to create a little bit of space, and that's a solid gain on first down. You don't break it, and it's not the quote-unquote sexy play on first down, but you put yourself at 2nd and 5. How much of a difference is that versus 2nd and 10, or what we saw last possession, 2nd and 12?
I'm going to have to hurry a little bit here. I believe Bob DeBest is going to get a timeout, be his first of the night. Got a 1:10 to go in this first quarter. That play clock was ticking down. He was still searching for a play. We'll step aside with him. 14-0, the Colony on top with 1:08 to go in the first here on Mustang Friday night. Take a look at that huddle around Bob DeBest, Grapevine, offensive coordinator Jeffrey Hyde, who's in his 3rd year running this Mustangs offense, who's been sluggish to say the least to start this one with the 3 turnovers already. They had 3 turnovers all season. If you could look, it's been an offense that's had their share of woes, but one of the bright spots is they've not turned the ball over this year 3 times tonight. Matches their entire total for the season. Contreras over to the other side. They come back to him. There's a lot of room on that left side where they've really gotten behind. Left side of that offensive line on back-to-back plays and move the chase.
Yeah, and back-to-back plays that it is really your best maybe consistent type of offensive pressure that you put on. And both times, as you mentioned, you're just getting behind those big guys up front. You saw it from Williams and Mason on the previous play. Those 2 are involved again. You got big Bergen Weir, who's out there pushing, one of the captains for this squad. Yeah, and you love that. A couple of 6-yard gains, pick up a first down, continue to move those chains.
From their own 37, the Colony again. Walk up outside linebackers on both sides. Full house backfield, there's confusion. Holmes, nowhere to go. And just a wave of white jerseys in that backfield, wrapped up at the 31-yard line, and once again around the pile is Jaden Rogers.
I think it was Ivan Beliznik who had the big hit on Contreras, who tried to get away, but it started with the confusion. As you'll see, Contreras turned to hand the ball off to the left, but nobody's there. You got 3 dudes in the backfield.
And that will bring us to the end of the quarter.
Yeah, they all go to the right. No one was there, and so Holmes was left out to dry.
Well, a first quarter that Grapevine would like just to erase from their memory and start over. See if they can do that and begin the second. Down 14-0 when we come back on Mustang Friday night.
One location, 4 amazing brands. Grubb's family of dealerships. Located on Highway 114, 25 acres of luxury car shopping. After 75 years of serving the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro, we invite you to shop Grubb's Acura, Infiniti, Polestar, and Volvo, all in Grapevine. Our service departments are fully staffed and ready to help with walk-ins or appointments. Start with the best, skip the rest at Grubb's family of dealerships.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Back to Mustang Panther Stadium here in Grapevine, Texas. Reagan Ratcliffe, Brendan Smith with you this evening. Mason Mears, our statistician, and a 14-0 the Colony lead. First play of the second quarter, Holmes in shotgun with 4 wides. That long count here from Holmes. And to throw it on second and long. Good looking pass right there. And then a nice run after the catch by Kel Thompson. He is close to the first down.
And not a name that we've called a ton this year. That's just his 6th catch of the year. But on 2nd and 16, you come out, run a quick slant. And as you mentioned, great job after the catch by Thompson to pick up that first down.
Well, Jalen Holmes throws a good ball right here.
He does, right on really the outside shoulder there. He makes the catch, takes the pop, picks up the first down, and that'll get you fired up.
Thompson's a big target, 6'1", 200-pound senior. Now they go with a 2 tight end set. DJ Wright is the tight end left. Ian Hatton up top right. One lone receiver up to the top of the formation. On first down, Holmes on the option. He's got room right here to operate. A great job of reading this by Jalen Holmes, and Grapevine's got their best drive of the night going.
Doesn't feel like that opportunity is there very often for Holmes. He's always giving up the ball. He's got the ability to run, and we've seen multiple times just the vision that he has. Able to set up his blockers nicely. He could have easily kind of run into his own blockers and only picked up 7 or 8, but instead, you'll see this massive hole open up, and then the couple of cuts, he's able to pick up the first down.
Offensive line starting to get a push here for Grapevine. Now first down and 10. Again, the outside linebackers walk up to the line. Dominic Jeffrey at the bottom, Trey Simmons up top. On first down, this is Graham, the freshman, just looking for a hole, and he finds one. He gets up to the 33. Powerful run by Graham to pick up close to 7.
Yeah, Graham, an outstanding run, not giving up on the play, but boy, I love what Daniel Campos did on this play. He absolutely destroyed his assignment, and that's what set up Graham to have any type of room at all. The offensive line, as you just alluded to, they're starting to pick up the pace a little bit, starting to assert their will. And now you saw Campos on the left side, and now they move him over to the right side.
6'1", 285-pound senior who was all-district last year. Short motion from Hatton. Here's Contreras. He's thrown back short of the first down. He's very close, but I think Bliznik pushed him back. There's a little extracurricular after the play as well with Hatton, the H-back who got to that second level up to the safety. It'll be a 3rd down and 1.
Well, he picked the fight at the wrong time because he stood up and there were 10 Colony players right around him, and his team was going to huddle up. You got to wait till you got a few more reinforcements behind you.
That's a guy that Bob DeBess really missed the first half of the year. Ian Hatton was dealing with an injury. All-district tight end last season, 6'1", 210 pounds. He makes a difference there, that spot. You see him there, top of the screen is the H-back. 3rd down and 1, Contreras the running back. Holmes will keep it on the option. Now he's in trouble. Can't get outside, and he is spun back close to the 40-yard line. Great pursuit. That's the cornerback in Corey Greening who made that stop.
Yeah, that's tough. They had sold out and had 7 or 8 guys that were right at the line of scrimmage, and so maybe Jalen Holmes wanted to try and kick that outside and take advantage of that, but they were able to read that well, bring him down. I'm not sure what Holmes is. He was pointing out as if he didn't know. I don't know if he didn't know it was 3rd down or what, but he's not happy about something.
Yeah, it's 4th down. They're going to bring on the punt unit. You wonder, too, this territory, you're 0-6. Would it seem like a prime spot for a fake punt? I think 4th and 10.
Yeah, 4th and 10 at the 40, perhaps.
You got your quarterback at home, so they're going to try to just kick this one and pin the Colony.
You got the best punter in Texas. What are you talking about?
Jalen Holmes pins him down at the 5. Great job by Jalen Holmes. Well, he's had 2 great punts tonight. The Colony will have to start with their worst field position of the night. 3 times, their first 3 drives, they started inside Mustang territory. They started at their own 42 on their last drive, which not all that bad, very close to midfield. Here, the shadows of their own end zone at the 5.
And I think really if you're Bob DeBess, he's probably thinking about what happened there on 3rd down. And even if you run it into the line, maybe you don't get the first, you're still in that range where you're probably going to try and go for it on 4th. But to lose 8 or 9 yards on 3rd and inches, that's a really big gut punch, and you need your defense to force. Don't let the field get flipped back here. You need that defense to show a little bit of resistance here in the second quarter.
Carson Cox, senior quarterback. Ian McLeod is the running back. They send trips to the wide side. Here's McLeod. Not called his name all that often, and here he has stood up right at the line of scrimmage. Great job by that interior defensive line. Andres Garcia, Cedric Hicks, and tonight Tatum Evans man that front line.
Yeah, your eyes always stay on those trips receivers. Of course, Xavier Green on the nearest side of the field. they elect to run that up the middle. So at some point, they're going to go back to that bubble screen. Wouldn't be surprised to see it on this play. They got a couple of receivers now on the near side of the field.
It's Luke Gormley, who's also playing a defensive end now. A team that's had to deal with just a rash of injuries. Here's 2nd down and 8. Cox, play action, throws behind Jalen Gaines, incomplete. Well, don't you feel to the field that at some point they're going to come back to number 5?
Oh, without a doubt, I would expect that here on 3rd and 8, but it's also a huge opportunity for Grapevine to force a 3-and-out here, get the punt, and potentially have the ball in your own territory for the first time.
3rd down and 8. Grapevine looks to rush 4 unless they bring another linebacker. They do bring 4 here. Cox is in trouble, steps up, throws deep. He is going for Green, but way overshot him. He had a step on his man, and Carlos McKay. It's incomplete, and yeah, the Colony's going to have to punt from their own end zone.
Well, great job by the defense. Started off with that 1st down run, but then here, Green had that step, but you see the pressure. This was the previous play, and that was even good defense, too. The pressure there forcing a little bit of a bad throw, but all in all, just Grapevine. Solid defensive possession exactly when they needed it.
Patrick Putz will punt this one. Thomas Power stands back at the Colony 40. It's a high, slow snap that got back to Putz, and he kicks it almost straight up in the air. The nose of the football is up in the air. See if it takes a Colony bounce. You got to watch out. Grapevine gets on it at the 35. Well, Lionel Randolph had nowhere. He couldn't go anywhere. It is recovered. I said it's Judah Johnson who got on it. Boy, that was a 22, not 25, but he got on it at the 35-yard line.
And I think Johnson was a little bit frozen. He wasn't sure what to. He was like, I know I'm not supposed to touch this ball, but it just hit me, and it took him a second. But he dives on that football, and so you couldn't have asked for a better situation there. Get the ball at the 35 after a 3-and-out.
Heady play there by the junior and Judah Johnson. So Grapevine's got their best starting field position at the 35. That played out exactly how Bob DeBest wanted it with the punt. Pin the Colony. 3-and-out. They've got to punt it. Grapevine's got great field position here at the 35. Looking to see if they can put their first points on the board. This game still very much up in the air. Grapevine at least hanging around right now, even though they've not been able to score. Here they come option short side. Holmes, great decision, just keeps it. Short gain of 1.
And not a whole lot that he could have done with the pitch there. Your running back was so close to the sideline that the only thing that could happen is that ball ends up bouncing off of your intended target and turns into a fumble. So good decision by Holmes just to take the couple of yards and settle for 2nd down and about 9 or 10.
Nearing the midway point of this 2nd quarter. Got 3 wide receivers, Hatton the H-back, Contreras the running back. Julian's only had the one big run tonight. They've done a good job of bottling him up. Hatton motions out. Holmes going to throw it. Looking and incomplete. Well, he had 2 receivers that were fairly open there. Hatton one down the left side he was looking for, and also Kel Thompson down the seam.
Yeah, Thompson had that seam, and I think Holmes was wanting to go what he thought was going to be the big play with Hatton streaking down the sideline, just overshoots his man. Now you got a 3rd and 9.
Big play coming up right here. You get the sense that this would be 4-down territory. Boozer comes in. 2-way player. Starts at safety. You'll see him occasionally as a wide receiver. He's a big target here. 6'3". He'll be in the slot right. We'll spread him out. Contreras, the running back, on 3rd down and 9. Play clock's at 3. They got to hurry. Holmes going to throw it. That pass caught by Thompson at the 30 and then rumbles his way to the 22. Boy, where has this been? Boy, Kel Thompson just looking for contact. It's a great run after the catch.
It was a good design to get the ball into the hands of Thompson. He had work to do to get the 1st down, and to see him just put his head down and carry that pile, that's the most impressive play that we have seen from number 18 this season.
So they're at the 20 of the Colony. Down inside, 6 minutes to go until the half. Graham and Contreras now back to a 2-back look with Hatton to the left of the formation. Long snap count again. Here's Holmes running the option. going to keep it. Breaks a tackle. Holmes down to the 10. Still rumbling to the 6. His best run of the night.
Well, again, it looks like the Colony has decided we're going to take away the pitchman, and Jalen Holmes says that's fine. I'm gonna do it myself. And so you see, he had the opportunity at one point to pass to Julian, and right there they take away Julian, and so Holmes takes it himself, and he makes 3 or 4 guys miss before he's finally brought down at the 6-yard line.
Well, Jalen Holmes came in tonight, 33 carries for 64 yards. He's having a great night on the ground here in the first half. He's made some smart decisions. Now out of a stacked I formation in the gun. Contreras with a short motion. Holmes pitches. Got a man there. Stewart into the end zone. Grapevine on the board, and boy, Jalen Holmes looked awfully good on that drive on the ground. Now, there is a penalty marker. Tops side of the field at the bottom of the numbers. There's a penalty marker. This may be coming. I say it's going to come back. It's not. It is encroachment on the Colony. Touchdown stands. Grapevine's on the board with 4:57 to go until the break.
Boy, I'm with you. That's the touchdown goes to Luke Stewart, and he's just kind of one of many that stood out on that drive. You talked about what Jalen Holmes did. Outstanding read, but then don't forget Cale Thompson's run either after the catch. So an outstanding sequence. You get the 3 and out on defense. You come back the other way, and you put 7 on the board.
Extra point, good from Moreland. Well, Grapevine, it could have been a lot worse. The Colony had a chance to really run away with this thing early, but Grapevine's defense has stood strong, and now the offense coming around. They're on the board. It's 14-7, the Colony, with 4:57 to go until the half on Mustang Friday night. Back to Mustang Panther Stadium in Grapevine, where we've got us a good one brewing now. 14-7, the Colony, after the 6-yard touchdown run by Luke Stewart. And we've seen some bright moments this year from this young quarterback in Jalen Holmes. That was one of his better drives of the season.
The decision-making was superb, and it's funny that you say that on a possession where you only threw one pass, and that pass was to Cale Thompson, and the highlight of that play was the Thompson run after the catch. But I thought Holmes did an outstanding job making decisions on that possession. It led to points. Now look out here.
Well, that one gets past, and then down at the 8-yard line. Falling on it was Carmelo Torres. And all of a sudden, the Colony, their second straight possession where they're down inside their own 10-yard line at the 8.
Field position matters a little bit, doesn't it? For the first time this half, you're able to flip that thing. Well, you were one bounce away from potentially having a chance to get on that football. But back-to-back possessions that start inside the 10 for the Cougars.
Outside of 2 big plays for the Colony, the 25-yard touchdown pass from Cox to Xavier Green, and then the 48-yard one to Jalen Gaines. Outside of that, this Grapevine defense has been really solid.
Yeah, and gotten a couple of turnovers, which now are huge because your offense has put you right back into the ballgame. Why not work up another 3 and out again?
McLeod on the handoff. He gets past that linebacking core and gets into the secondary. He's up to the 25 with his best run of the night.
Yeah, nothing super fancy about it either. Just a power run up the middle. And that gets them out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
Now they're going to step on the accelerator. Quick pass to Green. Green cuts back inside. Look out, he's dangerous. Green to the 40, a stiff arm, throws a man down at the 45. My. Boy, how fast Green is, and then just the power with that left arm with a stiff arm right there at the 45-yard line.
He doesn't look like it when you just see him in his jersey. He doesn't look like a guy that has that type of power, but, man, first the cut to get away from that secondary cut inside, and then the power to shove a couple of guys down as well.
Now quickly at the 47-yard line, handoff McLeod. He spins his way to the 45, and then Boozer cleans him up along with Luke Gormley. Gorman's going to play all over the field tonight. You're going to see him at linebacker, you're going to see him at defensive end. He's a do-it-all kind of guy. Junior linebacker / D end tonight.
Cooper Towery got in there on that tackle late. You can see the emphasis on trying to go after the ball. He was there on the tackle, and that right arm was just trying to stripe that ball away, trying to force a turnover.
2nd down and 8 for the Colony. Cox going to throw it. Deep on the left side, got his man turned around and nearly picked off. Would have been Leno Randolph's 2nd interception of the night. You look at the secondary right now, they are playing without Dallas Davis. You've had Carlos McKay come over. He's playing a corner now. This team is beat up right now. You're playing without Bradley Stain. You got players playing all sorts of different spots tonight.
Yeah, we've already talked about the different looks that you've had in the that front with Tatum Evans having to play defensive end, and we've seen Luke Gormley done it as well. So these guys are battling right now.
3rd down and 8. Big play right here with 3:42 to go. And there is a penalty marker. This should be on the Colony. That is an offensive line movement up front. We'll walk it off 5 yards here, so that's going to set up now a 3rd down, 13 from midfield.
Well, it's an interesting chess match, too, because on that, before the snap, there were 4 receivers for the Colony, but 5 cornerbacks that were on the field. 3 were bracketed on one side, and then 2 kind of double teaming on the other. They were kind of daring the Colony to run the football there, saying that we're going to take away those bubble screens. A little bit more of that here, too. It's a 3-high look.
Cox with a short roll, now gets outside. It was left. Look, he throws across his body. That's a tough throw, and it's incomplete to Vince Canzano. So the Colony will have to punt this. You've got just a little over 3.5 minutes to go until the half, and Grapevine's going to get the football back.
And the way that drive started, you kind of got that feeling in your stomach, oh, no, I hope that this isn't one of those double dips where the Colony's going to put points on the board and then get the ball back to start the 3rd quarter. So the defense, after giving up a couple of nice plays, settles down, forces the punt from midfield, and they're going to have a chance here to end the half.
Thomas Powers to receive at his own 15. Patrick Putz, senior punter and kicker.
He's got a good leg.
And back from his own 35-yard line. Seen 2 really strong punters tonight. Right-footed kickers is Putz. Boy, drives this one. Going to get a good bounce at the 25. Powers probably makes the right decision. Now you're just willing it to get in the end zone. That took a tricky hop on Powers. And it very well could have died inside the 5-yard line. You're just hoping and praying that get to the end zone.
You could almost see what was going on inside of his mind as that ball hit the ground. And I want to know. And then he made the right decision. And then you could feel every Grapevine fan kind of blowing towards that end of the end zone, trying to get that ball to go in for the touchback.
So they'll have it at their own 20. Grapevine marched down the field. It was a short drive on their last possession. It started at the Colony 35. And it gets capped off by a 6-yard touchdown run by Luke Stewart. Now, on this drive here, a chance to draw even with 3:23 to go until the break. Hatton motions, 2-back look. Holmes keeps it, slips a tackle, still on his feet. Well, they just kept coming, though. Knocked him back, loss of 3. Relentless effort there from number 10.
And we've seen that multiple times tonight on plays that go for losses like that, or maybe back to the line of scrimmage. He makes 3 or 4 guys miss before he's finally brought down. And here the Colony is calling a timeout. They're trying to force the punt, so they'll have a chance for points at the end of the first half.
Yeah, 3:15 to go until halftime. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. 2nd down 13. As little as Grapevine throws the football this year, Jalen Holmes did have that one game against Birdville, 207 yards. That kind of seems like an anomaly. I think Jalen Holmes looked good tonight throwing the football. 2nd and 13 would tell you, well, it could be a passing down.
Yeah, but again, do you try to put the ball in the hands of Thompson? Do you think that maybe, some of your biggest plays have been the keepers from Jalen Holmes. Maybe the Colony's making a little bit of an adjustment there. I'd kind of like to see those quick slants again. I've been really impressed with what Thompson has done after the catch. Maybe you try to put the ball in his hands, and if you can at least move the chains once, you feel pretty good about not giving the Cougars a chance to score before we get to halftime.
So out of the timeout, second down 13. Thompson is the receiver to the bottom of the screen on the left.
And they are very aware of him now. There's 3 guys on that side of the field.
Holmes on second and very long. Looked like a little bit of a mix-up. He's just going to take it and run. And runs right into a Colony defender. Well, that frustrates you. You come out of a timeout, and there was confusion.
And you can see Julian Contreras having his conversation right now, trying to point exactly where we need to go. And, yeah, that's the second time that there's been confusion on just which side you're going for, either a play fake or to actually take the football.
So it's third down and very long now. And now the Colony, with another timeout, they have 1 remaining. Now the question becomes, how does Bob DeBest want to play this? We would say typically it's a passing down, but based on where the clock is and the number of timeouts the Colony has, it might not be the decision.
Yeah, they should just be down to 1 timeout.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, do you want them to have to use that timeout, or do you take a chance on 3rd and 12? I would venture to guess that you're going to see the ball stay on the ground and maybe give Jalen Holmes a chance to make a decision, and maybe you break something, because I don't think they want to, risk a turnover on a ball in the air, but then also leave the Colony with another timeout in their pocket to try and extend this lead out to a 2-possession game.
Jalen Holmes and the Grapevine offense back on the field at their own 13. Three receiver package with Contreras, the running back, right of Holmes. They are going to throw it. Holmes steps back. They're going to set up a little screen here. Contreras looking for some blocking, and he has stood up at the 21. That's a good play call, though, at 22. A safe play right there, and something that they've had some success on. Colony does call a timeout.
The second time they ran it, the first time, Contreras got the ball to midfield on a solid run after the catch. He had really good blocking in front of him. I like that call, too. As you mentioned, it's a little bit safer. You don't feel like you're going to throw the ball to where it's going to be intercepted, but you're going to get the ball in the hands of the guy you want to get the ball to and then see if he can make something happen. So not the offensive possession you wanted. You thought you already made the stop before the end of the half. You're going to have to do it again if you're this Mustang defense.
It was a wild start to this ball game. You had 5 turnovers in the first 6 possessions of this game. Grapevine on their first 3 drives, 3 turnovers, interception, 2 fumbles. The Colony had a fumble, also an interception, but they did have the touchdown pass from Cox to Green, and then another touchdown pass, a 48-yard strike from Carson Cox to Jalen Gaines. It was 14-0 before Grapevine got on the board in the second quarter, but you feel like the momentum has shifted to the Mustangs. But now, an all-important drive coming up.
Hey, you feel like you've dodged the bullet at this point by only being down 7. 21-7 it's still not the insurmountable lead. It felt like it could have been a lot worse in that first quarter. But if you're able to keep this thing a 7-point game, you'll feel pretty good about yourself going into the halftime break.
Oh, another terrific punt from Holmes. This one bounces out of bounds. That was a booming kick. They're going to mark it up at about the 40, so they mark this the 47 of the Colony. So with 2:49 left to play until halftime, they've got the ball close to midfield. Now this Grapevine defense has really made some plays tonight when they've had to. And that's been the story of the season. It's just the big plays that have hurt Grapevine. They've had 2 tonight that they've given up. Outside of that, they've been outstanding. Carson Cox and the Colony offense back onto the field. Watch for number 5. He's here at the bottom. Got 3 receivers that direction. Number 5 and Xavier Green has been very active tonight. They've made it a point to get him the football after last week against Burleson just not being able to get the ball into his hands. Carlos McKay is matched up with him. Cox to throw. He's looking in that direction. Fires it incomplete. He threw it behind Carmelo Torres at the 40.
It's another situation where this receiving group has had some space, and Carson Cox just hasn't been able to put it on the numbers. Hasn't been extremely accurate today. Look at that moon tonight.
Boy, what a beautiful night for high school football. I feel like finally it's some fall weather here.
Temperatures in the low 70s and be in the 60s by the time we're done. Just getting tired of calling games at 100-degree heat.
Right here. Ball's loose on the turf. Still there. Grapevine may have it. At the 40 down to the 39-yard line. I believe Cedric Hicks got there. Well, if Grapevine came away with this football at the 39, they're going to give it to Colony. Oh, it was a mad dash for the football, and it looked like Hicks was there for a moment. That ball squirted out, and then Hicks just couldn't get it.
Boy, that would have completely turned things.
Oh, Grapevine's going to use one of their timeouts, recognizing that it's 3rd and long here. Grapevine's now got a chance to get this ball back. It's been a bizarre first half.
It really has. And we're waiting. We should get another look at that fumble here in just a second. A huge moment, nearly flipping this game. But you see the pressure. The ball poked away. I couldn't tell exactly who poked that away. Was that?
Boy, Hicks had it here for a moment.
Cooper Towery was there.
Yeah, I think it may have been Towery's hands who got in there. Here comes Luke Gormley off the edge. He had 2 right there.
It's Towery or Gormley, one of those two.
I think it was Gormley. Number 3.
And if that ball's rolling, look how many.
Boy, Hicks is right there.
And he had it for a second, but you got to give credit to that offensive lineman.
I think that's Wyatt Robinson.
It looked like his arm was underneath that. I don't know how he was able to squeeze out of there with the football, but that was a big break for the Cougars.
Robinson, 6'3", 325. His senior center, I believe, is who got on it. 3rd and long. Cox sets up a little jailbreak screen here. There's blockers in front, and a dangerous run after the catch. All the way to the 20-yard line. Tyler Osborne Jr., once he broke one tackle, he was off to the races, and the Colony runs that screen to perfection.
Yeah, they set that up perfectly, and unfortunately Grapevine took the bait, and they had a couple of guys that were coming right at the quarterback, and that's exactly what Cox wanted. And, boy, you mentioned now 3 different guys that have made huge plays in the wide receiver game.
Cox rolling, looking to his right, pass caught at the 16, leaping catch by Canzano. He's got a big target there at 6'4", 210 pounds.
Yeah, we've seen Tyler Osborne with a big play, Jalen Gaines, obviously Xavier Green. This really is an impressive receiving core for the Colony.
Pick up a 4. Clock rolls inside 2 minutes. All-important drive right here for Grapevine's defense to keep the Colony out of the end zone. Going towards the end zone. 4-6, juggled and dropped and incomplete, and Randolph may have got a hand in there. Well, Linnell Randolph's playing a big ball game tonight. Maybe his best performance of the year.
I feel like he's been the most visible, at least to our eyes tonight, than he has the rest of the season. That's a really good play. So that's one of the best throws, I thought, too, that Carson Cox has made. That's just a good defensive play.
Randolph had the interception midway through the first quarter on a pass that Cox probably underthrew a little bit. Randolph still made a great play on it. Not only the interception, but also saved a touchdown. 14-7 the Colony, 1:46 to go until the half. Carson Cox to throw. Grapevine rushes 4. That pass, incomplete. Boy, knocked up in the air. Randolph was in the area and incomplete. Right off the hands of Jalen Gaines.
Cougars are trying to keep Grapevine in this ball game, and Gaines, that's a ball that he's got to handle. He's lucky he didn't bounce into the hands of a Mustang defender.
Putts on for the field goal. This will be from 37 from the right hash. Very little wind tonight. Kind of a crosswind for putts.
Handful of blocks this season for the Mustangs.
Jeffrey to hold. He's got plenty of leg here, and he knocks it through. The 37-yarder from putts gives the Colony a 17-7 lead. 1:35 to go until the half here on Mustang Friday night.
Fall is here, and we're clearing out all 2024 floor models to make room for our new 2025 collections.
It's out with the old and in with the new during Stacy's 2024 floor model sale.
Shop casual dining sets perfect for everyday family meals or formal dining rooms guaranteed to level up your holiday celebrations.
This is your chance to take home name brand furniture at unbeatable prices. Hurry in today. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Shop the 2024 floor model sale going on now. And remember, you're shopping at Stacy's.
You're shopping with family, and you're not burning money.
17-7 the Colony now with the lead. Got 1:35 left to go until halftime.
I was going to say, it seems like a play that you're going to circle is that near fumble recovery.
Yeah.
by Cedric Hicks. He had it for a second. And, yeah, that not only keeps the Colony from scoring, but it also puts Grapevine in positive territory to where they've got a chance for at minimum 3. So, yeah, that's a big play. But the defense was at least able to hold the Colony to a field goal. And now's a great time for that big special teams breakthrough that we talk about time and time again with Coach Bob DeBess.
Putz will kick it away from the 40. Big, strong right-footed leg right here from Putz. He hits it high and deep. So come down right at the goal line. It's juggled and picked up. This is Stewart on the return. He gets a nice return to the 24. Grapevine will start at their own 24-yard line. The Colony, no timeouts. You got 1:29 left to go. As much as Bob DeBess likes to run the football, you feel like they'll play it safe right here.
Yeah, and it's not like your running game hasn't busted a couple of big plays today, so maybe you keep it on the ground, hope for something like that early, to at least where you can get it in range to give your kicker a chance.
So with 1:29 to go until halftime, this is Contreras straight ahead, right into the arms of Trey Simmons. Pickup of about 6 yards.
They're going to go hurry up.
Yeah, they are going to hurry. Get quickly to the line as quickly as they can from the 31. Well, Holmes is going to take a shot right here. Going to step up. I'm going to take it and run. Boy, great read. Love the decision-making tonight you're seeing from number 10. Holmes to the 42.
Yeah, he had to make a quick decision. His read wasn't there. He saw a little bit of a lane, and he takes off. And this is the first time we've seen the no-huddle offense.
Going to throw it again. Holmes. The throw to Thompson and incomplete.
And that's actually not a bad drop.
Yeah.
You're not going to get maybe a yard or two there, and that's not worth the time that would tick off the clock. So not the end of the world that pass is dropped. 2nd and 10 at 47 seconds is better than, 2nd and 8, and you're under maybe about 35 seconds or so.
Oh, Grapevine's taking some shots through the air here on this drive and playing with some urgency. The no huddle. Now they can take their time after that incomplete pass. It's 2nd down and 10 with 47 seconds left on the clock. Long count here, Holmes. Looking right, now steps up and can't get out of the grasp. Big number 15 on that sack, and Jaden Rogers.
Might have been Jason Jeffrey who made that play as well.
Jeffrey came up from that defensive end spot, and Grapevine's going to take a timeout. It's their final one.
Yeah, I feel like if Jalen's able to get away from that tackle, he can potentially get towards the sideline. I don't know if he picks up a first down or how far he goes, but could stop the clock and maybe give you a little bit more of an opportunity. It makes it difficult here on 3rd down and 10, but you see how close he was to getting free, and he nearly didn't. You're right, too. It started there with Rogers, and then it was also Jeffrey that was there to finish the job.
Got a 3rd down and 11 with 39 seconds left to go. Neither team can stop the clock now. Well, what does Bob DeBess want to do here? A run will at least keep the clock running. If it was an incomplete pass, he'd get the ball back to the Colony. Holmes from the gun. They are going to throw it. Looking, going deep, over the middle, and it's caught. Oh, my. Boozer at the 32 took a shot, and there's no flags. No flag for targeting. We'll get a look at it again here on our monitor. Boy, that was a bone-crushing hit on Boozer over the middle.
And Bob DeBess is hot, and I think he's got every right to be. I mean, that looks about as defenseless as you could get, and more than not getting the call, you're concerned about Brady Boozer.
Yeah. 6'3", 190-pound senior. He's a baseball star as well.
Yeah, Navarro Junior College commit.
Yeah, two-way player. for Grapevine. And the word you use there, defenseless, I think is spot on, because Boozer in this spot right here is the definition of defenseless.
Here's the play. Good throw from Holmes. I mean, it might have been shoulder to chest, but that's still, that is a violent collision.
That's Sean Keenan who put the hit on him. Maybe they're rivals in baseball, because Keenan is the leadoff hitter, center fielder for the Colony. Did he put that shoulder right into Boozer? Tough kid to come off to the sideline as we watch Brady come off. The clock did stop there. 31 seconds. They've got to punt it. Now here to the Colony. But I got to hope for Grapevine's sake that, one, Boozer's okay, and then two, that you don't give up another big play right here.
Yeah, looking on the bench right now, he looks like he's okay. I think he's more frustrated than anything else. Slammed his helmet down.
Holmes' kick gets away, another dandy right here. Fair catch at the 32.
Well, with the offensive weapons they've got on the outside, you can't feel too comfortable. The Colony's going to have a chance, and they've got some playmakers that can make something happen in 24 seconds.
Now from the 27-yard line, their own 27. Yeah, you got to be watching number 5 and Xavier Green. Jalen Gaines also has the big play tonight, the 48-yard touchdown strike. And you've kind of got a depleted secondary now with Dallas Davis not on the field. Carlos McKay's had to go from a safety to play a corner. They may play Carlos McKay deep now. They're going to put him back. They brought in Christian Friedrich to play the corner.
And Brady Boozer's on the bench too, obviously. So.
Yep. You're already playing without Bradley Stanier, the defensive end. So, I mean, they have really been put through the ringer on the defensive side. Now the next man up mentality here. 24 seconds. Cox rolling. Going to throw it sideline. Intercepted at the 30-yard line. Picked off by Judah Johnson, and Grapevine's got the football at the 18-yard line, and that play pretty much sums up the first half. That is the 6th turnover of the night, 3 on each side, and he threw that ball right to Judah Johnson.
Boy, the ebbs and flows of this game are just unreal. That was right. There's nobody in the vicinity. But then the run after the catch, he's wearing 22. Looked like Emmitt Smith running that thing back. So now maybe a quick out towards the sideline. Try to get yourself a little bit closer for a field goal. Well, if you can be within one possession at the half, that is a huge win for Grapevine.
From the 19, no timeouts. Or if they, you got to think they're going to throw the football, but it's got to be, like you said, towards the sideline or to the end zone.
Because you're looking at, what, about a 38-yard kick?
And you got to protect Holmes. If Holmes were to get sacked right here, that's the half. You cannot stop the clock. 15 seconds remain. There's pretty heated discussion going on the sideline. I don't even see in your picture, but Bob DeBess and the officiating crew may be looking at the clock here.
Yeah, the side judge, they were pointing out towards the clock. Maybe they were just admiring how beautiful the moon is
Did
tonight.
you see that full moon?
That was crazy.
It's beautiful. 19 seconds to go. Big play right here for Grapevine. 3 receiver package. Hatton is the H-back. They'll rush 4. Long count from Holmes. Going to take it. They protect him. They go deep to the end zone. Got a man down there throwing it up for Thompson and incomplete. And why not? There's a great looking ball right there from Holmes. Now what do they want to do? They got 10 seconds. So they have time for another play right here.
You can run something similar to that. You know, it was a pretty low-risk throw. You felt like it was either going to be caught by Thompson or just be incomplete. Pretty good ball there towards the corner of the end zone. So I would assume something similar towards the end zone, and if the ball's knocked down, you'll try the field goal.
Got Thompson who comes to the short side. Stewart's up top. 2 receivers that direction.
Boy, all sorts of movement defensively.
In motion, Hatton on 2nd down and 10 with 10 seconds to go. Got to protect Holmes. He's going deep towards the corner, and he overthrows Thompson. They'll bring on the field goal unit here with 7 seconds.
Yeah, took a couple of shots. I like it. I like the idea. If you can come away with 10 points, be down 7 at the break, the way that first quarter started, I think that's about as good as you could have asked for.
36-yarder from the near hash from Moreland with a light cross wind. Shouldn't make much of a difference with that wind tonight. Good snap and hold. Moreland high, kind of short kick. Does he have enough? He does. He snuck it over. It's a long for Moreland on the season. His previous long had been 34. He hits from 36. He's 8 of 10 now on the year. And Grapevine continues to hang around. We got 1 second on the clock. It's now a 17-10 ball game.
That's a clutch kick. Coming up in a situation where it really changes everything if you make it. And so, boy, you think about how you felt when Boozer went down. He went to the locker room. He was joined by Brady Stanier as they went. But as they're walking, they stop and turn because they heard the roar of the crowd, the interception, and then you put 3 more on the board. So about as good as you could have hoped for after the way this thing started.
A lot of fight from this Mustang crew tonight, searching for their first win. And where the beginning of this ball game was just atrocious. The 3 turnovers, but credit to Bob DeBessa's team to hang in there. The defense has stood strong, and the offense has started to come to life here in the second quarter. And you got a 7-point game, and now Grapevine will kick it off with just 1 second left on the clock.
It was ugly all around. You had 6 possessions to start the game, and you had 5 turnovers.
The only one that wasn't a turnover was the touchdown pass from Carson Cox to Xavier Green for the Colony. Yeah, each team has forced 3 turnovers tonight. Bob DeBess wanted to see this team get some takeaways on the defensive side. What he wasn't expecting was the turnovers here. It was a little onside. Ball's loose on the turf and falling on at the 48. The clock runs out anyways, but Grapevine rolled the dice a little bit right there. Why not? And we go to the half. Boy, what a wild first 24 minutes of action here at Mustang Panther Stadium. 17-10 the score. The Colony's on top. Can't promise you halftime is going to be as wild, but we'll let you sit back and watch both bands, and we'll have halftime statistics for you. In a 17-10, the Colony lead here at the break on Mustang Friday night.
One location, 4 amazing brands. Grubb's family of dealerships. Located on Highway 114, 25 acres of luxury car shopping. After 75 years of serving the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro, we invite you to shop Grubb's Acura, Infiniti, Polestar, and Volvo, all in Grapevine. Our service departments are fully staffed and ready to help with walk-ins or appointments. Start with the best, skip the rest at Grubb's family of dealerships.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got 'em in your sights.
You're just trying to find a way out. I don't want to tell you how to live, but I just don't want you to miss. And I don't mean to scare you. I want you to live, and I dare you to give this life all you have. Yeah, all you shot to take. Don't miss, just make. Don't get it twisted. We're on a mission to live life legendary.
Ray Callahan. Captain Ava Shondell. First Lieutenant Claire Stacy. Senior Lieutenant Hannah Marchbanks. And Junior Lieutenant Amelia Crowder. Philly Social Officers are President Ainsley Alexander, Vice President Rosie Toohey, Historian Caroline Loomis, and Co-Chancellors Tyler Rainwater and Dory Clark Miller. Now please welcome to the field the Grapevine fabulous Philly Saints team. The Phillies are under the direction of head coach Katie Wordsworth and assistant coach Ellen Ayers. This week's staff recognition is Mrs. Post. Thank you for all you do for the Phillies and for Grapevine High School. This week's Spirit Girl is Everly Johnson. Rookie of the Week is Addie Allen. And our Philly Honor Girl is Reese Ramsey. The Phillies welcome home the alumni who created the foundation of strength on which we continue to build our legacy. As a tribute to our alumni, the fabulous Phillies will be performing their traditional homecoming kick to We Are Family. Give it up again for our Grapevine High School fabulous Philly Saints team. The Phillies will get a special thank you to our sponsors and Michigan Dance Production, Artistry and Motion, Performing Arts, and their Harlem and House Band, SCC Construction Roofing, Sewell Cadillac and Grapevine, Cherry Coastal, the Carroll Roofing, First Choice Stadium Stores, Costa Vida, and Antwerp Cars. Go Grapevine! And now, ladies and gentlemen, Grapevine High School welcomes you to Mustang Homecoming 2024 at night in Paris. Please direct your attention to the 50-yard line. I'm pleased to introduce our homecoming board. Now entering the field are your freshman homecoming princess and prince, Kathleen Beatrice Doggett and Cooper Griffin. Kathleen is the daughter of Jesse and Mark Doggett, and Cooper is the son of Gretchen and Dick Griffin. Your sophomore homecoming princess and prince are Liesl Ackerman and Sanjay Huda. Liesl is the daughter of Laurie and Tim Ackerman, and Sanjay is the son of Sunita Chitala and Chandra Huda. Your junior homecoming princess and prince are Avery White and Nate Graya. Avery is the daughter of Stephanie and Michael White, and Nate is the son of Krista and Ogre Graya. And now, for our senior court. Our first royal couple is Maya Adet and Trevor Valentors. drum major for the award-winning GHS band, which earned straight Division Ones and the right to compete at the area contest in the next round. A talented musician, Maya plays the piccolo and flute. She's the president of the Music Honor Society and plays in the wind ensemble. She's a national mayor, semi-finalist, NHS treasurer, and a member of GHS leadership. While she hasn't decided where she's going to college, Maya plans to double major in chemistry and international relations. Maya thanks advanced taxes to Mr. Bristow for being incredibly supportive and caring over the last 6 years. Maya is escorted tonight by her parents, Summer and Micah Al-Kubasi. Trevor is the founder and president of the wildly popular Taylor Swift Society, which meets twice a month. He's also the captain of the track and field team, as well as the best robotics team. Like most of us, Trevor wishes he had been in Paris to watch the Summer Olympics. Trevor plans to study architectural engineering, so it's no surprise he thinks this is the part of the engineering and robotics teacher who supports him and provides him with the resources he needs to be successful. Trevor is escorted by his parents, Sidney Balmore and Chris Clark. Our next senior court members are Ainsley Alexander and Derek Young. Ainsley serves GHS in the period of waiting. She's a 2-year member of the leadership class, where she currently serves as student body president. Under her leadership has streamlined communications among officers, class members, and staff. She represents the Mustangs under the Friday Night Lights as a fabulous filly, also serving as their president. She's a leadership officer for FCA. Ainsley was recently accepted to Harding University, where she intends to study multimedia journalism. Ainsley thanks Mrs. Rose for teaching the leadership class with wisdom and kindness. Ainsley hasn't been to France yet, but she wants to visit the Louvre. Ainsley's escorted tonight by her mom, Mandy Alexander, her dad, Mike Alexander, and her brother, Austin Alexander, is standing in for Dad Mike while he coaches while around parties. Next up is Derek, who's involved in multiple organizations at Grapevine. He serves as student body vice president, as a member of the National Honor Society, and a 2-time state qualifier for Pregame in the hospitality and tourism competition. He's currently organizing the university faculty basketball game for DECA. Additionally, Derek plays baseball for the reigning state championships. While he's undecided about where he'll attend college, he intends to study biology and eventually attend dental school. He's not been a French either, but he wants to try an authentic Prussian background. Derek is escorted by his parents, Shane Guang and Yao Guang. In the field now is our third senior couple, Vivian Parker and Truman Sugg. The 4th-generation Grapevine Mustang, Vivian Parker serves as president of the National English Honor Society and National Art Honor Society. She's a member of NHS and is the co-head costume designer for the award-winning Grapevine High School Theater Troupe 1574. Outside of school, she mentors middle school students and works in the children's ministry at Righteous Chapel Methodist Church. Fast forward to the right, folks. Sorry, y'all. All right. The next members are Ola Said, Barry, Lisa, and Kyle Bell. While Barry's leading GHS for Impact was immediate last week, she was elected to serve as the vice president for the class of 25. She's a member of NHS, leadership of the National English Honor Society, and Team Board. Working on Team Board will serve her well as she plans to pursue a career as a medical malpractice lawyer. She has her sights set on Harvard. Mary thanks her teachers for being great role models and motivating what she wants. Mary's escorted by her mom, Julianne and Lisa. Her dad, Akeem, is flying home from Nigeria tonight. Kyle Bell serves Grapevine High School in many ways. He's a senior class president and a district-winning cross-country team member. He's been a 100% Hard Rock for 4 years. Additionally, Kyle is a hook squad officer, member of NHS, and the varsity debate team. Kyle wants to attend TCU to major in biomedical sciences and work in prosthetics. Kyle thanks Mr. Otto for creating a welcoming, fun environment to work in. Kyle's escorted by his parents, Christy and Alvin Bell. Now it's time for Vivian Parker. Vivian, 4th-generation Grapevine Mustang Church's president of the National English Honor Society and the National Art Honor Society. She's a member of the NHS and the co-head costume designer for the award-winning Grapevine High School Theater Troupe 1574. Outside of school, Vivian mentors middle school students and works in the children's ministry of Righteous Chapel Methodist Church. Truman Sub represents GHS in several ways. He and his cross-country teammates recently won the district meet. He's a member of GHS leadership on the track team. As a child, Truman visited France, which spurred his love for travel and appreciation for international culture. Truman recognizes Mr. Otto because he appreciates the immense content knowledge, dedicated creativity to developing lesson learning, and Zami's passion. Truman hopes to continue battling next fall and eventually pursue a degree in law. Truman is escorted by his father, Sub, and a longtime family friend, and tonight's coronation is conducted by 2023 GHS Homecoming Queen and current Stanford University freshman, Allie Yeoman. Last year's Homecoming King, Jack Fisher, current Indiana University freshman. Student Council Homecoming Committee co-chairs, Anna Lee Lee and Hazel Tom, and Grapevine High School Principal, Dr. Alex Smith. Student Council is sponsored by none other than the great Miss Dane Rose. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the couple stepping into homecoming royalty is Vivi Parker and Derek Young. On behalf of the leadership class of students, faculty, and staff of Grapevine High School, we say, welcome to all X's. Once a Mustang, always a Mustang.
One location, 4 amazing brands. Grubb's family of dealerships. Located on Highway 114, 25 acres of luxury car shopping. After 75 years of serving the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro, we invite you to shop Grubb's Acura, Infiniti, Polestar, and Volvo, all in Grapevine. Our service departments are fully staffed and ready to help with walk-ins or appointments. Start with the best, skip the rest at Grubb's family of dealerships.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Back to Mustang Panther Stadium, second half action. We get you ready for the third quarter. Grapevine and the Colony in a 17-10 lead for the Cougars. A wild first half. He had 6 turnovers, 3 on each side. And Grapevine probably felt like this game could have gotten away from him. Great job by the defense to ring him back in, and the offense showed up. And now a 7-point ball game going to the third.
Yeah, and you kind of look at the numbers overall. It was Grapevine did a pretty good job on the ground, 88 rushing yards. They had 50 passing yards. Of course, turned the ball over 3 times. On the other side for the Colony, they had 170 passing yards. For Jalen Holmes, 5 for 12, 50 yards on the through the air. For Carson Cox on the other side, 9 for 22, 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Here is the opening kickoff, and the Colony's going to have great field position to begin the third quarter on a return that comes out to midfield. And field position was such a storyline of the first half, particularly early. The Colony, on those 3 turnovers that they forced on the first 3 possessions by the Mustangs, all 3 of those drives started in Mustang territory. But they were only able to get the 7 points, so credit to that Grapevine defense. And now That Mustang defense again must face the Colony here with the ball. Good field position at almost midfield.
You know, wonder what the Colony's going to come out and do here. I bet when they went into that halftime break, they probably felt like they should have been up by more. Grapevine's feeling good that they're in the game, even though they didn't play their best half. And will the Colony come out here and try to make a statement on this first drive, get the ball in the hands of their big playmakers?
On first down, this is one of those playmakers you talk about, Jalen Gaines, who had a 48-yard touchdown reception in the first half. He's up to the 40 and has got a gain of 11.
Yeah, it's just the second time he's touched the ball. The only other time was that touchdown pass. We had 3 guys with some pretty impressive plays in the wide receiver game. Xavier Green, 6 for 78 in a score. You had the Gaines 48-yard touchdown, and then Tyler Osborne with an impressive 40-yard catch in that first half.
There's movement on the left side of the line. The center, Wyatt Robinson, may have moved along with that left guard, who I believe was Nate Webster, or Nate Keister.
They're going with 70.
You can't miss him, Kelvin Iowa. It's the second time he's moved tonight. Early, 6'4", 285-pound sophomore.
Boy, he already looks like he's a Division I lineman, doesn't he?
Playing on Saturdays already. Yeah, we talked about the 6 offers he has as a sophomore. This is Cox. He tries to bend it back to the right side, cut it against the grain. He throws a stiff arm. Well, Judah Johnson has made some big-time plays tonight. There's a penalty marker at the 42-yard line. Johnson rode him out of bounds. But he was getting a stiff arm to the face. Johnson had the interception there just final seconds of the second quarter. Well, they're going to call that on Johnson. I'd like to see this again. And look at where the quarterback, Cox, has his hands going against Judah Johnson.
Yeah, you're going to see the stiff arm there.
Boy,
I don't see a face mask at all.
If
anything, it's on offense.
Yeah. Wow. Carson Cox threw his hand at Judah Johnson. There's the movement again on that left side. I think that time it was the left guard. Or it may have been 70 again.
'72 this time.
That's David Stevens. Move it back 5, first down and 15. Well, I thought Judah Johnson did everything he could.
I did too, and maybe there's an angle where you can see the hand on the face mask, but to me it looked like he was just grabbing pads and rolling the quarterback out of bounds.
First and 15 for the Colony. The throw from Cox. Well, he is a gunslinger. That pass incomplete. It's almost like a sidearm type throw.
He hasn't been accurate. He has the 170 yards and the 2 touchdowns, but he's also thrown 2 picks, and he was just 9 for 22 in the first half. So with all these playmakers on the outside, he just has not been able to be on target enough to let these guys make plays.
Second down, long 15. Watch for Green up top. Got Linnell Randolph, who's had a great game. He's the corner manned up on him. And they go to the ground. They've not run the ball that often tonight. This is Kendrick McClodden. They had 544 yards rushing coming in tonight. Luke Heck made that tackle.
And he had a really good read. He was out there in the slot. He talked about Xavier Green on that far side, and he was standing there too. And so he had to read, do I go back and help with Green, or do I read that option? He made a nice play.
They're down 10 now. Got 2 weapons at the top of the formation. Gaines in the slot, Green up top. And now running back McClodden slides to the right. Now back to the left with 5 seconds on the play clock. Air pressure coming. That's Gormley. Cox still on his feet. Hicks cleans him up at the 23. He slung him for an extra couple of yards. It's going to leave the Colony 4th down and 5, and this might be Patrick Putt's time.
Now, I was wondering, because of where the initial contact was on that potential sack, you fall forward and end up gaining about 4 or 5 yards. I thought maybe that might be in a territory where Cougars would elect to go for it. And look where the initial contact is made, and then look where the tackle actually happened. It's a 5-yard gain after contact by Luke Gormley.
This is from 40 yards, almost straight on, just inside the left hash. Putts, plenty of leg. Boy, he may have been able to hit that from 55. What a booming kick from Putz. His second field goal of the night, and that gives the Colony back a 10-point lead. Opening drive that nearly went 3 minutes. It started back at their own 49, is capped off by a 40-yard field goal from Putz, and it's 20-10 the Colony here on Mustang Friday night.
The clock is ticking. It's last call on 24s at Classic Chevrolet. As the #1 dealer in the world, a huge selection of 24s remain with model year-end savings, like new Silverados, 14 grand off MSRP. Or 0% APR is back. Time is running out to get model year-end savings before they're sold. New Silverados, 14 grand off MSRP will not last. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com now.
20-10, the Colony with 9:10 left to go in the third quarter. Opening drive for the Cougars. And Patrick Putz field goal, his second of the night. He's hit from 37. He's hit from 40. And now we'll get a look at this Grapevine offense here on their first drive of the third.
Looking around, too, at some district action. We talked about that Argyle-Mansfield Summit game. Argyle is cruising right now as they're up 28-6 on the road. Two undefeated teams in district play.
Well, you think the schedule's been hard? You hadn't seen nothing yet.
Oh.
Next 3 weeks for Grapevine, it's a gauntlet of a schedule. You've still got Mansfield Timberview next week. You got Colleyville Heritage, that big rivalry game, and still Argyle left to play. First things first, they're in a dogfight right now from the 5-yard line. Stewart to the 20. Oh, he's got a good burst. He's at the 29. Here comes a flag. Flies in from behind the play. Grapevine would have the ball at their own 29. Let's see what this flag, I think it's the preliminary indication, might be against Grapevine.
And generally, a flag throw in that territory, it's a hold or a block in the back or something.
You're right, block in the back on Grapevine. And a spot foul will bring this back deeper into Mustangs territory down inside the 20. Be at the 16.
Yeah, penalties haven't really been a huge issue. You see last second there, the block in the back. But you're going to have decent field position, but you got to push yourself all the way back now to the 14-yard line.
Big drive right here for Jalen Holmes and the Grapevine offense. Really started to hit their stride there in the second quarter. Holmes was masterful running the option. He had some big pass plays to Kel Thompson. Now they operate out of a double tight end set. The Colony's bringing the blitz. Holmes cuts it upfield. Another great read by Holmes, who is really running the option to perfection tonight. He's up to about the 24.
That's officially his 11th carry of the night. And, yeah, he's turning that corner. He's keeping the relationship with his potential pitch man, but then ultimately decides that he's going to cut it up the field. So a solid game there on first down.
He had big shoes to fill coming in this year. Harrison Hackbarth was an all-district quarterback last season and threw for almost 1,000 yards. Holmes, just a junior. Got Contreras running back left. We've not seen a lot of Julian tonight. Had one big play on a screen pass. Now on 2nd and 2. Thompson reaches up and makes that catch at the 35. Boy, Kel Thompson's having his coming out party tonight. He has been a big weapon in this Grapevine offense.
And that throw a little bit high, and so he had to go up and reach to make the catch. That's a nice play with a guy right on his hip. And he has been the most impressive. It's been the most impressive game that we've seen from him thus far.
Cooper Towery comes in at the Wildcat position. When Towery's in, it is a heavy dose of quarterback runs here. See if that holds true. They load up that offensive front, and there is some confusion in the offensive line, looks like. And also with DJ Wright, who came in as an H-back, he was moving a little bit. They're going to call it on, I believe, maybe Daniel Campos, false start.
I think there might have been a case, though, where a handful of guys moved.
Yeah, there wasn't just one. It wasn't Campos. He may have been the first, but there was a lot of movement there. And Haddon, H-back right, got a tight end in right DJ Wright is there to the left of the formation. 1st and 15. Towers going to take it and run. He's got some room to the 37. Picks up 4. Here comes Jalen Holmes again.
That's a bit deceptive because he hit that hole so quickly, and he's got a burst, but yeah, just almost back to the original line of scrimmage.
2nd and 11 here for Grapevine. Drive that started back at their own 16. They've got some breathing room now to the 37. Down 10. Holmes with 10 on the play clock. With time, throws incomplete. We also had Ian Hatton right over the middle. He was looking for Stewart. Double covered, now 3rd and 11.
Yeah, a couple of guys that ran similar routes, and the ball almost ends up in between both of them.
No, Jalen Holmes has had a big night through the air. Outside of this game is one of the game that he had considerable yardage was against Birdville, the 207 performance. But tonight he's been comfortable if they can give him time. 3rd and 11. 4 wides here. Thompson's been his go-to guy. Standing, now rolling to his right in trouble. Being pressured. The throw is intercepted at the 46. Picked off by the safety and Trey Burton Jr. He's got his team-leading 5th interception of the year. 4 turnovers tonight now for Grapevine.
In a case where Jalen in some trouble and was trying to make something happen. And if you ask him again, he's probably going to tell you, I need to throw that ball away. He saw someone in the vicinity, but just ends up overthrowing Ian Hatton. Or his 2nd interception of the day.
4 turnovers tonight, and the Grapevine offense had only turned the ball over 3 times all year. Now they've taken the ball away 3 times themselves. They need one here with 6:24 to go in the 3rd. 10-point deficit, you feel like you're still in the ball game, but cannot allow it to get away from you further than that. It's a Grapevine team that's only averaging at 13 points per ball game. Here they come, a little razzle-dazzle on the reverse, and Green walloped to the 46.
It was actually defended somewhat decently by Grapevine, but Green is just so quick. And he's able to end up getting about 8 yards.
They really made it a point to get him the ball right out of the gates in the first quarter. We've not called Xavier Green's name all that often since the first quarter. You can see maybe Rudy Rangel, who's in his 20th season at the Colony, his emphasis to get it to number 5, his junior wideout. Here's us now 2nd down and 2. Carson Cox just waiting patiently, looking for a hole. Boy, dances outside. Nifty moves by Cox, who stands 6'2", 225.
It never looked like he got out of first gear, but he just kept moving. Kept dodging, making a couple of cuts, and picked up another solid gain there.
They ran a 2-quarterback system for a good part of the year. Early in the season, Jalen Gaines, who we now see as a wide receiver, also split time at quarterback. Pretty likely you'll see Gaines as the quarterback next year. There's a 1st down and 10 at the Mustangs 41. We get close to 5 minutes to go in the 3rd. Cox again will keep it. He's in trouble. There was Cooper Towery in on the tackle. First one there to arrive on the scene, along with Michael Yatorka.
Overall, it's been a solid game defensively, but you're at a point now, and you can see these guys, I mean, you're shorthanded, guys are beat up. You're going to have to force another turnover. You've already forced a handful. You'll still find yourself down big by 10 on the scoreboard.
It's been a valiant effort tonight for this defensive unit. Now on 2nd down and 10, pass to Green. And he gets outside. No Randolph just ducked inside, and Green went outside. He's got about 7.
Just so shifty. And it doesn't need but a sliver of light, and he's going to hit that hole, and he's going to pick up the yards that he needs. So 3rd and manageable here. Big opportunity for Grapevine.
Clock stopped at 4:34 with Green getting out of bounds. Claude, the running back, motions him out. Going to throw that direction, a little screen. It's incomplete. Had it in his hands.
I'm not so sure that wasn't a backwards pass.
Oh, pretty close. Pretty close. Grapevine would have, but what a gift that would have been.
See where this ball's, it's going to be hard to tell most likely from this angle where the ball, that's close. I think it is forward, but hard to tell from that angle.
4th down and 3. Huge play here for Grapevine's defense. 4:31 to go in the third. Trying to get off the field, get that ball back to Grapevine's offense. They're going to go bunch receivers right, Gaines in the slot, Green's up top, one-on-one against Randolph. It's going to be Cox who takes it, big hole. Carson Cox into the secondary, and he's into the end zone, and the Colony's got their biggest lead of the night on that touchdown run of the senior quarterback.
Well, our eyes were all on the outside. We talked about all of the different options that they had. You had Xavier Green alone on the up top, and all it took was the quarterback keeping it and showing off his speed. And now you're in a situation where math's starting to come against you if you're Grapevine. It's the Colony finally able to open up a sizable lead.
Down 16, and Putz trying to make it 17 with 4:23. High snap. Putz now going to roll and look. In trouble, throws off his back foot, tipped around and incomplete. Well, it's a 2-possession game now. It's
there you go.
16-point, the Colony lead with 4:23 left to go here on Mustang Friday night in the third quarter. (26-10), the Colony on top. With 4:23 left to go on the 34-yard touchdown run by Carson Cox. And again, it's the big plays tonight for the Colony. Grapevine defense has been so good, but just a few breakdowns, and right there, Cox found the opening.
Hadn't had as many of those big breakdowns as has been in the past, but yeah, you see the 34-yard touchdown there. You had the 40-yard pass earlier in the ballgame to Tyler Osborne. And yeah, the missed field goal does at least make it a little bit more realistic. But need to get going offensively and need to do it pretty quickly.
Putz to kick it off from the 40. There's a surprise onside, ball loose. Putz may have gotten on it at midfield. Boy, has he had a night. There's a fight for it at the 50 between Putz and Judah Johnson.
And everybody's pointing a different way. Grapevine thinks they have it. The Colony thinks they have it.
Number 22's got it. I just don't know which team is number 22, and it's the Colonies. Judah Johnson didn't pull it away. Patrick Putz got it.
So a complete surprise there. And that was perfect from Putz. It had to go 10. He was the one that was going to recover it.
Oh, he's a weapon. 2 long field goals tonight. The last one from 40. He recovers this one at midfield.
And he boxed out, too. He has it dribble and then gets about 8 yards down the field and starts backing up until it goes 10 yards.
Bob DeBess is hot. And I'm wondering, too, if he is upset with the official. He thought maybe special teams unit, or maybe he felt like somebody had gotten an early start there on that Colony special teams unit. It was across the line. He is furious, and rightfully so. On first down, pass is caught here on the near side flat. Called in by Tyler Osborne.
Keeping my eye on Bob DeBess because he'll roam that sideline, and anyone that's in his path right now is going to get an earful.
Well, they had battled their way tonight. Looked like it really could have gotten out of hand early. As here comes Green. This is dangerous. Up the sideline. There is a penalty marker. This may be coming back.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pass interference as the receiver in Vince Canzano got there way early on the block. And so he made that block before Green got the football. This one's going to be coming back.
So what was going to be a big play for the Colony.
Well, I say that, and now that they pick it up.
They may have. Yeah, they're going to mark this. They're going to wave it off. Boy, what a frustrating night. So now the Colony at the 24.
Here's the play again. They're a little bit late, but
Coming that motion from Green, the handoff to McLeod. He's wrapped up around the legs. There's Yatorka, inside linebacker, making that stop. Gain of 1.
Kind of in a situation now where you've got to have a turnover.
Now it's a change of quarterback. This is Gaines. Told you about it a moment ago that they've run a 2-quarterback system, so we'll see Gaines now. He is dangerous with his feet. He's going to look to throw. Gaines steps back, goes over the middle, got a man down there and incomplete. He had Tyler Osborne open. Be a 3rd and 9 now.
Both quarterbacks have missed some big plays for the Colony. As there was a step, and there was a chance to drop that one in there if you're Jalen Gaines.
Gaines stays in at quarterback. He got a 3rd down and 9 here. Clock stopped, 3:25 to go in the 3rd. Green and Torres come to the near side. McLeod, the running back. Now they motion him out. Gaines throws that direction. McLeod slips and falls. He's had a tough time on the last 2 screen passes. One he dropped, this one he slips and falls.
And now all of a sudden it's the magical limp that's showing up. And you see him kind of walking to the side, and
that turf monster.
I think he'll be all right in just a second.
Oh yeah, he'll be back for that next series, no doubt. At the 29, well, Putz has had quite a ball game. This would be from 46 from the near hash. He's 3 for 3 tonight. He's hit from, he's 2 for 2. He's hit from 37 and 40. This one would be from 46. That snap was a little bit behind. A great hold. Putz gets the leg into it, and he missed it. Just missed it to the right. Missed a 46-yarder. So it's still a 2-possession ball game.
Yeah, somehow keeping yourselves within striking distance. And I feel like you had a couple of things go against you. You know, the defense, or rather the special teams will be ready for any trick play this time. All it cost you is about 2 minutes on the game clock, and no points on the scoreboard.
Grapevine's offense will take over at their own 29. Their second possession here of the 3rd quarter. They threw an interception on their last one. Jalen Holmes has thrown a couple of picks tonight. Also done a great job of running the offense and the option. Here he is. And didn't get much help from his offensive line. He is thrown back. We'll mark him at the 29. So forward progress back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, well, Jalen hasn't broken that huge run, so to speak. He's had a couple of really nice ones. He's made it so difficult for one man to tackle him. And take a look at how many different players have a chance at Jalen Holmes. Fakes the handoff. 1 runs by him. 2, 3, 4. Maybe the 5th guy finally brings him down.
He's got a 2nd down and 10 now with 1:55 to go in the 3rd. A touchdown drive right here, and you're really right back in it. Holmes going to go to the air. Got a man. It's complete to Stewart. Big block. And Stewart stays on his feet. To the 45. Slips a tackle. Stewart to the 48. Terrific run after the catch. And boy, did he get a block at about the 40-yard line.
A little bit of spark offensively. Stewart with an outstanding run after the catch. But you're right. The block was a big one here.
I'd love to see who threw that block. That was a standing block in the open field.
I had it on our monitor here in a second trying to get a look at it. We'll see if we can show you who it was. There it is.
Big time block at about the 40. So first down and 10 at the 48 of the Colony. Here comes the blitz. Holmes tosses. Contreras, who's had his number called a few times tonight, bulldozes his way to about the 43. We catch a number on that? I don't know if it was it Ian Hatton? I think
it was.
Hatton.
It was Hatton.
All 6'1", 210 pounds. I mean, pancaked this guy.
He was fired up about it, too, after the play.
It's a gain of 4 for Grapevine. They're marching here with 38 seconds to go. The passing game has been there tonight at times, and the option game as well.
And really, it's the threat of the passing game. It doesn't have to be the most efficient pitch and catch of in Texas high school football, but just to know that it's not going to be a run 99% of the time, it makes so much difference.
Holmes steps up, slings it. Oh, a terrific pass out in the flat. Well, he channeled his inner Patrick Mahomes right there. He dodged and ducked and threw a little sidearm pass. Terrific connection right there. And I believe that was
Rylan Goen made the play.
Rylan Goen on that. He's distributed to some different guys tonight.
Yeah, he has. And, Thompson's been the biggest beneficiary of that, but we've seen more throws to Contreras than normal. You see one there from Goen. Luke Stewart's gotten involved.
Maybe the final play of the third quarter. They will not get it off. The clock ticks down to 0, and we are headed to the fourth. It's a 16-point advantage for the Colony, but Grapevine starting to turn the tide. They're at the 36 of the Cougars when we come back on Mustang Friday night.
One location, 4 amazing brands. Grubb's family of dealerships. Located on Highway 114, 25 acres of luxury car shopping. After 75 years of serving the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro, we invite you to shop Grubb's Acura, Infiniti, Polestar, and Volvo, all in Grapevine. Our service departments are fully staffed and ready to help with walk-ins or appointments. Start with the best, skip the rest at Grubb's family of dealerships.
Compass Church is for you. Join us each week to experience great music, a message that applies to your everyday life, as well as programming for your kids and students to engage on their level. Learn more at compass.church.
Back to Mustang Panther Stadium in Grapevine, Texas, where it's 26-10. The Colony on top. They've led the entire way tonight, although Grapevine just not going away. And they're on the move right now. They are at the 36-yard line of the Cougars, and a touchdown. You're right back in this one. It's been a good mix of run and pass here on this drive. Contreras and Graham are the running backs. 2 tight ends, Hatton and Wright. On first down, Holmes, a long count. A hard count goes to Contreras. He's got a lot of room off that left side. And he's driving inside the 30, still churning those legs. Boy, you can almost just swallow that whistle because Contreras, as a referee, you cannot be quick to blow that whistle. He is driving and continues to run. He is to the 28-yard line.
Yeah, not just that power and strength from Julian Contreras. You've got those 250-plus pound linemen that are coming to join the party as well.
They give him 8. They mark him at the 29.
But look at this work, though. The lineman finishing the job. Daniel Campos getting in there. Yeah, DJ Wright's there.
2nd and 3. Kind of a power set here for Grapevine. 2 tight ends, full house backfield. Graham on the carry. He's got the first down up to the 25.
Yeah, Jake Graham, just a freshman, saw where he was actually invited to come out to Texas State last week, so he's already getting some looks. A talented freshman that he's going to eat up, just learning from Julian Contreras, having that senior leadership.
Got the ball at the Cougars 25. Thompson wide left, Stewart to the right. Hatton the H-back right. On first down, again, that long count here from Holmes. The give Contreras has got room. He's into the secondary. Up to the 15, and first down, move the chains.
It feels like this offensive line is starting to wear down the Colony. There's so much more room than what we saw early on in the ball game. And this offensive line, you saw them start to hit their stride in the second quarter. We're seeing them here, the drive that started in the third, carrying over to the fourth quarter. Touchdown and a 2-point conversion, and you're right there.
At the 14 of the Cougars. Again, 2 tight end set. Holmes with 8 on the play clock. Contreras cuts it up inside. Almost ran over his own man at the 10.
Get a feeling Contreras would run over anybody if you're in his way. Doesn't matter what color jersey you're wearing.
What
You're
a
in the
year
way.
he's had.
Yeah.
Well, up over 800 yards rushing on the season. He had 5 straight 100-yard games until Burleson held him to just a 42 on 14 carries. Take a look at Julian there. He is the workhorse. We didn't call his number a whole lot tonight, although here in this second half, he is starting to take over. 2nd and 5. Hatton, short motion. This will be Graham wrapped up immediately. Thrown back, loses 1. Big third down coming up. 3rd down and almost 8.
See if think about putting it in the air, or if you're wondering, let's pick up a good chunk of this on 3rd down and a manageable 4th.
Ryland Goen comes back in. Holmes has had success throwing the football tonight. Thompson's been a big target. He's wide left. Stewart to the bottom of the screen to the right on 3rd down and 8. The give. Contreras bounces off a tackler. He's to the 5, close to the first down. He may have it. Thrown back. They're going to spot him at the 5. Did he need to get to the 5, or did he need to get just past the 5? I think they're going to call it 4th down. He's what looks to be inches short.
I was going to say half yard, but I think you're closer. I think it is inches.
Nose of the football is at the 5. The first down marker is just across the 5. No doubt, 4-down territory. Going to go for it here. 8 minutes to go in the 4th. Huge play. You got Jaime Sanchez and Contreras in the backfield. Hatton, the H-back. The give. Contreras wrapped up, thrown back, loses yards. Oh, Trey Simmons got in there first, and Grapevine on 4th down cannot convert. They were waiting for Contreras, and now the Colony's got the football with 7:44 to go.
It's a really frustrating way for that drive to end. It felt like the offense was moving the ball well, but then get down to about the 15-yard line and things really just stalled out.
Now, so the Colony will take over at their own 8. And the clock now is a huge factor with 7:44 to go. And a 16-point lead for the Cougars. Grapevine desperately needs a turnover deep in the Colony territory. Carson Cox throws it right to him. Oh, my. Ask and you shall receive, Luke Heck. Not only a turnover, it's a pick 6. Carson Cox threw that ball right to Luke Heck.
Did you read the game script beforehand?
That was in the play.
I mean, you said we need a turnover, and they said we got you.
We'll do you one better.
What you got
We'll
here for what you got here for a 2-point conversion? Man, that was a huge break for the Mustangs.
Unbelievable. Well, now you got to convert the 2. That's the second
you're
time.
special.
Well, that's the
You are
second time
special.
that Carson Cox has thrown it right to a Grapevine defender, both on short plays.
Are we kicking the extra point here?
No shot. With 7:38, you would think it'd be a fake. Moreland, the extra point, and it'll stay a 2-point game or 2-possession game. 26-17. That'd be a little bit of a head scratcher right there. Yeah, obviously you go for 2 and you get it in 8-point game. Trying to do some math here. If the Colony were to kick a field goal here, make it a 12-point game, well, if that really makes it any kind of difference.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, and Coach DeBest has obviously forgot more football than we'll ever know, and I'd be interested to see just his thought process on that.
That is an interesting call. Well, it's a 9-point game and 7:38.
It'd be good to have an onside kick here. I'm trying it too.
Yeah,
you just went
what,
Nostradamus
you know what you
on
need
us.
right here.
Yeah. Well, a gift of a play there, and now you're going to have to get a stop one way or the other.
Yeah, I take that math back. I was saying 26 would have missed extra, or 2-point would have been 26-16, then 29-16 would be a 13-point game.
Kind of
still,
the same difference.
It doesn't. Yeah, I'm curious on that one. Well, the Colony is not going to be surprised by an onside here. Got their hands team unit.
They will be surprised by a straightaway kick.
Can we kick it over the head of Kingston Jones and outrun him to the football? See what Cade Morgan does here. May try it. Do we have anybody that runs a 4-1? No.
Tyreek Hill not walking through that door.
All right. So it is the Colony's football with 7:38 left to go in the ball game in a 9-point game.
Boy, this has been such a bizarre night.
Hasn't it been wild?
It feels like the game's been over multiple times, and then Grapevine just hanging on.
8 turnovers, 4 on each side, a pick 6, and a 9-point game. Yeah, I'm baffled by Carson Cox too. The 2 interceptions he's thrown have been just right to guys out in the flats.
Yeah, it must be just a complete wrong page with his wide receivers.
Here he just says, I'm going to take it and rumble myself up to the 35. It's almost as though he's made up his mind exactly where he's going with the football and not even looking.
Grapevine will take it.
Well, now that the clock really, truly a factor right here. Almost midway through the 4th. And they can just milk this clock. I mean, you got 16 on the play clock. Canzano is the H-back. They empty the backfield. You want to bet number 10 is going to run this ball?
Say, with the way he's been running.
Uh-oh, look out. There's a little bubble screen. I thought for a moment Luke Heck might step in front of that pass. It's incomplete. Heck was picked up at the last second.
Would that have been something?
My goodness. All right, so it's 6:43 and rolling. 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, any first down is extremely important for the Colony. Takes off at least another minute if you're not going to wait to burn those timeouts.
Carson Cox, now pressure coming, steps up, throws high, almost picked off the tip. It was Luke Hecht again. Right there at the 45.
That's just a weird play, too, because it looked like initially Cox was just kind of slow playing it and he was going to try and go deep. And then he got real nonchalant with the pass and almost threw it away. I mean, he starts back kind of haphazardly, looks up, and then look how lazy that throw is, and then nearly overthrows it.
3rd and 2. We're far from over here. 6:17. Who knows what else is going to happen in this bizarre game. Carson Cox, take it, run. He just muscles his way up to the 42. He's going to continue.
My ball's out.
Running.
Did it not come out?
Looked like it might have. But Carson Cox and Julian Contreras can carry a pile.
Yeah, and you don't want to just beat your quarterback to death, but that play is just about unstoppable.
And he is a load. 6 foot 225, squats 500.
Tree trunks for legs.
He is built like a defensive tackle almost at the high school level. Big, strong ox. From the 40-yard line of Grapevine, 5:40 to go. Here comes Johnson on the blitz. The throw caught by Gaines, and he's going to score. Jalen Gaines with his second long touchdown of the night, this one for 40. That might be your ball game. It is now 32-17 with the extra point to come.
Well, that really is the bread and butter. There's a couple of plays that they love to run, the bubble screen, and then this little quick slant here to get the receiver the ball quickly. He's got one guy he's got to beat, and then he's off to the races. And he is able to slip through Carlos McKay and most likely put this ball game away.
We're going to go for 2. Just to make it a 17-point game. It'll be a 3-possession game right here. He is stood up, thrown back. Hey, you get that right there. That is almost ball game. Talking about 3 possessions at 34-17, but still, I mean, 15-point game. Got 5:25 left to go here in the fourth. Grapevine will get the football.
And they've moved the ball well. Really, the handful of their last possessions. Their last possession was outstanding just until they got into the red zone and things died down. So you need some sort of big play, some sort of splash play pretty quickly. You're going to need a couple of them to make this happen.
Well, the good news is the passing game has been clicking tonight. This is not a one-dimensional offense. They've been able to find success on the ground and through the air. The problem is what you see in the bottom of your screen there with the clock at 5:25. Do you have enough time and firepower here to score? And it's an offense that averages 13. Got 17 tonight. Shown the ability to move the ball, but just not much time.
Boy, just the sloppy start to the first quarter really comes back to bite you because since then, offensively, played really well.
You feel like you've played right with the Colony. It's been back and forth. Get behind 14, though. That's been the difference in the ballgame. Putz will kick it away. Stewart catches it 2 yards deep, going to bring it out. Across the 20, looking for a seam to the 30. Nice return by Luke Stewart. He's all the way up to the 35-yard line. He's had some impressive burst on those returns. He confidently brings it out to the 35.
Yeah, he had basically all night, if the ball had gone into the end zone, he had been taking that fair catch, but decided that he wanted to see if he could make something happen. And he did. Got you better field position up to the 34-yard line.
So here comes Holmes in the offense. Looking for a big play here with 5:16 to go in the fourth. Trailing by 15. There's Holmes on the long count again. He zips it towards Thompson. Caught at the 43.
A good pickup there by Julian Contreras. Stopping the linebacker on the blitz, helping Holmes find Thompson for that gain on first down.
Down inside 5 minutes. And we saw Grapevine run a hurry-up style offense.
And had some success
they
doing
did.
it.
Late in the first half. Well, they feel like they've got to do that. It's in their arsenal. Second down 6. Get that snap off. Down to 4 seconds on the play clock. Holmes was looking to go deep. Now finds an open man. Stewart to the 42.
Now it looks like they're starting to go with that hurry up. Now they're scrambling to the line to get moving.
Quickly to the line. Holmes looks right. Now comes back to his left, trying to escape and run away from Ramirez, and he does. He gets outside and gets to the sideline and out of bounds. He comes up limp a little bit. You're hoping he's fine as he crossed over on that track. You can see him in your picture. There he is.
Is that a shoe issue? Is he?
We hope. It looks to be fine.
And just going from that turf surface to the track surface messed with him a little bit.
I believe a penalty marker was on that play.
And there is one laying down right now at the 18-yard line.
It's on the Colony, legal substitution. At 4:03 to go in the game. Mustangs down 15. But not going away. And they've got the ball into the Colony territory. Game clock not running at 4:03. They get the snap off with 4 seconds left. Stewart incomplete at the 20. Boy, he looked like maybe early contact from Trey Burton. Very close.
Stewart's slow to get up. Didn't look like there was anything malicious there at all. Just a high throw and.
Take a look at the timing of this. If we get a replay that is to when Trey Burton arrived. He either arrived just in perfect time or, I mean, it is very close here on this pass to Stewart.
It's really hard to tell. Even in super slow motion.
Kind of comes in the screen.
I don't think there's anything there.
I think he's good. Good play by the safety and Burton.
And just an unfortunate fall by Stewart, just awkwardly after he collides with the defender.
It's a kid that's been playing on the varsity since his freshman year, 3-year letterman as a junior. Made a nice play on the ball, so you got a 2nd down and 6 coming up for Grapevine. They've got all 3 of their timeouts. You got 3:58 to go in the game. Some confusion there for Grapevine. Ryland Goen gets on the other side now. He put trips to the short side. He gets up top left. 2nd down and 6. Holmes. Now Contreras. Nothing there, although Contreras can make something out of nothing. He's to the 37. Well, short of the first. You got a 3rd down and a long 4.
You're probably looking at about a 3rd and 7 if not for that extra effort from Julian Contreras.
Holmes, ball tipped in the air, incomplete. So 4th down now. That ball tipped by Trey Simmons. Well, this would be your ball game right here. 3:29. Your back's already up against the wall, down 15. But if you don't convert here, that might do it.
I think my idea here would be I'm going to give it to Jalen to throw the ball, but give him the option. Maybe roll him out and give him the chance if he needs to. Let him take off and run to try and pick up the 1st down.
2 receivers, both sides of the formation. Colony. Got 3 down linemen. They got an outside linebacker walked up. They rush 4. Holmes feels the heat, steps up, looking. Now rolls back to his right. May have room to tuck it and run. Does he have it? He spins out of a tackle. Holmes to the 25. Thomas is down at the 30. Rather, Simmons is down at the 30 for the Colony. That is some impressive running from Jalen Holmes.
Yeah, Jalen, he was trying to get that ball out of his hands and trying to go downfield, and then finally decided to run. And I thought he was dead to rights. And then he goes to that spin move here. He's pointing down the field, had a couple of guys, but that spin move and then fighting his way for those extra yards to give you still a shot.
So at the 25, 3:17 left to go. Gonna throw it. Caught by Thompson at the 15 to the 13. Well, he put it right on the dart. Right there. Oh, I say Thompson was going. It was Ryland Goen who made that grab. 15 and not 18. 1st down at the 12. Down inside 3 minutes. Holmes looks, fires, caught. Thompson, after the catch, he gets to the 3. He is down to the 3. This Grapevine Mustangs team showing a ton of fight.
And that's one of the things that Coach DeBest pointed out. His biggest positive from this season is the fight this team is showing, and they continue to do that tonight, giving themselves a chance.
First down and go, Holmes and company. There is maybe a timeout by the Colony. Anthony King was out at the bottom of the numbers. Defensive coordinator for the Cougars called that timeout. We'll take it with them. 2:34 to go in the fourth. Mustangs knocking on the door, down by 15 here on Mustang Friday night.
Can't get enough. Just can't get enough. Come on, let's go. Can't get enough. Start the show. Can't get enough. Yeah. Just can't get enough. Oh, 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 oh.
32-17, the Colony with 2:34 left to go here in the fourth quarter. The Grapevine's got the football at the 2-yard line. All three of their timeouts, a touchdown here, and things could get interesting. It'll be a one-possession ball game with the extra point. Got to score first. Jalen Holmes, the Contreras, the running back. Still that long count. Holmes going to look and throw. Rolls to his left. Now going to take it and run. Holmes dances into the end zone. What a night for Jalen Holmes. Mustangs aren't done yet. Down 32-23.
Yeah, a similar idea to the play they ran that picked up that big first down. As now you're at a point where it's a 9-point game.
If you're going for two, I'm completely baffled. Extra point would make this an 8-point ball game, one possession. If you miss this, it's a two-possession ball game.
And to me, and we can talk about it a little bit more after this play, because more importantly, it's what happens on this play.
Big play right here for Jalen Holmes. And this offense could make it a 7-point ball game. They motion a man across. Holmes rolling right, looking. And he take it and run. He is stacked up right at the goal line. He got in. 2-point conversion is good. 32-25. It's a 7-point ball game.
Well, now you say it's a great call, but for me, I understand it because you're going to have to go for two no matter what at some point, and you're going to run your best 2-point play right here. So now it's a situation where you know that you have at least the option. I can kick the field goal, or if we somehow get the ball back and score, I've got a chance to go for two to win it. You were going to have to go for two at some point either way, and so they felt like they wanted to try and get it out of the way early.
So it's a 7-point ball game. Correct me if I'm wrong, though.
You're right, yeah.
They don't make that. It's a 9-point game, and it's a two-possession game with 2:28.
And it is, yes. But at some point, if it's an 8-point game and you score, you're going to have to get the 2-point conversion either way.
Right.
But it's one of those arguments that analytics people may tell you one way and then other people tell you others, but bottom line, it's a 7-point game, and you get a stop in the ball back, you'll have a chance.
Well, the way this game's gone tonight, who knows what's going to happen in the final 2:28. This has been a wild game that started with 5 turnovers in the first 6 possessions of this ball game, if that tells you anything. You've had 8 total turnovers, a pick 6, and now it's a 7-point game, 32-25.
And again, the Colony's going to come out like they did last time Grapevine kicked off. They are not going to be fooled by an onside kick. They've only got one guy anywhere close to the end zone, and he's 25 yards away from it.
Holmes, rather Moreland on the onside, and it is recovered by Canzano. So here comes that offense for the Colony. 2:28 to go in the game. 7-point lead for the Cougars. They've got it at the 49.
Yeah, all 3 are timeouts. A couple of first downs would basically end this.
At the 49 here for the Colony.
The way the game started, having a chance to get a stop to get your offense the ball with a chance to tie it or win it, I think you would have taken it.
Yeah.
Colony's going to use a timeout.
No back look there for Carson Cox. You feel like you've got to have kind of a spy on him. A no back look that you're almost telling you he's going to be a quarterback draw or something quick out in the flat, little bubble screen, but he is a load to tackle.
Well, first of all, the way he's run the football, and even that last drive, if I need 2 first downs, I know what I'm doing. If I'm the Colony, I'm having number 10 run the football. Yeah. But at the same time, he's made a couple of questionable decisions throwing the ball. Yeah. So if you do put the ball in the air, you have that risk as well. So for me, I feel like the Cougars are going to keep this ball on the ground. All 3 of these plays, if it gets to that, then even try to get this first down.
Load up that offensive line. 2 tight end set. Motion, Green. Here's Carson Cox. A lot of room. Look out. Cox to the 35-yard line.
And that motion in the backfield with someone like Xavier Green, you've got to give him respect, but they just keep it. And because everyone ends up cheating with Green, it's a huge hole there for Carson Cox.
At the 35, Grapevine burns one of those 2 timeouts. We've not seen a lot of Kendrick McLeod in the run game tonight. When they have run it, it has been number 10.
I'm not sure what McLeod has in the second half. It hasn't been much, but he only had 6 attempts for 32 yards in the first.
And he's been battling a knee injury, so that may be a big part of it. Their game plan has really lived true to what Bob DeBest told us. A lot of attack just horizontally. Not been where they have popped you, the big pass plays to Jalen Gaines. Even one was
but even
short.
those weren't bombs down the field. Maybe quick slants, maybe 15 yards total in the air, and then it's the receiver who does the rest of the work.
Well, you've missed Bradley Stanyard tonight,
No
number
doubt. 43,
defensive end, headed to Kansas State. Hate to see him out, but this defense they've not backed down. They've performed valiantly. They've forced 4 turnovers tonight. Could use another one right here. Here's the handoff. McLeod wrapped up by Yatorka at the 33. They'll burn a timeout. So we'll have one left with 2:07 remaining. First down would do it for the Colony.
At some point, another QB draw is coming.
We'll step aside here. 2:07 left to go in the 4th. And a 7-point lead for the Cougars here on Mustang Friday night.
Fall is here, and we're clearing out all 2024 floor models to make room for our new 2025 collections.
It's out with the old and in with the new during Stacy's 2024 floor model sale.
Shop casual dining sets perfect for everyday family meals or formal dining rooms guaranteed to level up your holiday celebrations.
This is your chance to take home name brand furniture at unbeatable prices. Hurry in today. Once they're gone, they're gone.
Shop the 2024 floor model sale going on now. And remember, you're shopping at Stacy's,
You're shopping with family, and you're not burning money.
2:07 to go in the ball game. Mustangs with 1 timeout. 32-25 the Colony. As here comes Carson Cox, the senior quarterback in his Cougar offense. Mustangs have forced 4 turnovers tonight. A defense that had forced 5 all season. What would you give for the 5th right here? A little razzle-dazzle. Oh, my. Gaines going to throw. This is a dangerous play. Randolph nearly intercepted it.
And they're going to throw it for pass
Oh,
interference.
my. I thought Linnell Randolph was working to get his head around right there and got his hand up. And that will very well be the ball game on that decision. As crazy as this ball game has been, that's the wildest decision we've seen all night. What a crazy play to run with 1:59 to go.
Well, I misspoke earlier and called the tush push the Philly special. That was the Philly special that they used in the Super Bowl. And unless they pick this flag up, they didn't pick up the first down through the air, but they're gonna do it through the penalty flag.
Maybe we see this again by Linnell Randolph, and I didn't. That's a huge call. If we've got a replay of Linnell Randolph here on this play, and if we can see, I'm hoping we get a vantage point of this. That is I don't think we're gutsy. Oh, my. Unless his left hand's on him.
Yeah, his left hand might have had some contact, but that's also a case where the ball's underthrown, and it's a really tough place for a defensive back to be.
Decide a game on that call right there.
Yeah, and if anything, it was Carson Cox who had that contact too, as his arms wrapped around the defender. So I would have gone with a no call there.
That was a gutsy Dan Campbell-esque kind of call. My goodness. Here's Carson Cox. Well, he's got all sorts of room. He could drive a truck through that lane, and Cox goes into the end zone untouched. That's a shame. You hate to see a ball game end like that. As hard as Grapevine's fought, but Carson Cox probably just put the exclamation point on this ball game.
And it's fitting that that's the play that puts the nail in the coffin, because he has been such a load to try and bring down. He's made some mistakes, no doubt. In fact, he's thrown the interceptions. He had a fumble earlier in the first half that could have turned around and given points to Grapevine, but ultimately he's the guy that puts it away.
Extra point good, and the Colony pulling away 39-25 with 1:54 to go in the ball game here on Mustang Friday night.
The clock is ticking. It's last call on 24s at Classic Chevrolet. As the #1 dealer in the world, a huge selection of 24s remain with model year-end savings, like new Silverados, 14 grand off MSRP, or 0% APR is back. Time is running out to get model year-end savings before they're sold. New Silverados, 14 grand off MSRP will not last. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com now.
1:54 to go in the ball game, 39-25. We're talking here in the booth about maybe the decision right there. It looked as though maybe Grapevine letting them score. That's maybe all you can do in that situation, because the Colony could essentially run out the clock.
Yeah, you bring a guy down. So it's a dire situation. Yeah. It's less dire, I guess, if you let them score, but it's your backs are up against the wall. But how about the stat that Mason Mears just gave us?
Awesome. Mason Mears tells us here in the booth that Carson Cox rushed for -6 yards in the first half. He's gone for 105 now in the second. What a game he's had on the ground tonight. Always get great nuggets and statistics from Mason. Best in the business when it comes to statistics. Here comes the kickoff from Putz with 1:54 to go in the ball game. Squiver will go through the end zone. Here comes the Grapevine offense. 25 points tonight for Grapevine, and Jalen Holmes, while he does have the interceptions, the 2 picks, I think this may have been one of Jalen's best games.
Yeah, when you think about those interceptions, one of them was tipped. The other one was on a 4th down. He was trying to make something happen. So you would have punted. You would have probably had worse field position if you're the Colony if the pick wasn't thrown. But all in all, decision-making, his best, and he was just confident throwing the football. I loved the intermediate routes. I liked the opportunity to try and get Julian Contreras into space on screen. So did a few different things tonight that I think you can build on moving forward.
Kel Thompson's been big tonight in the passing game. Luke Stewart. First down here with 1:54 remaining. Here comes pressure backside. Holmes escapes. Can he stay on his feet? He does, and throws it away. Boy, that is just a brilliant decision after an outstanding effort.
It's Ivan Beliznik, who was losing his mind there for a second. He had a couple of chances at the set.
That linebacking core for the Colony. Beliznik is one of the best Coach Rangel says he's ever coached. Team's leading tackler. You got Jaden Robertson, who's closing in on the all-time record in school history in tackles. Contreras not going to go down easy. Knocked out at the 27. Clock stopped with 1:37 to go in the game.
Now, you mentioned that gauntlet of a schedule that's coming up, and Grapevine, they're going to get that win and try not to go winless this season. It's going to be really hard the rest of the way. There's 3 extremely tough opponents coming.
Yeah, Timberview next on the road in Mansfield, and then you've got Still Colleyville Heritage and Argyle left to play. Two of the better teams in the state of Texas. 3rd and long, Holmes delivers incomplete. Good job of picking up the pressure, then that pass incomplete around the 35. It was Friedrich, the intended receiver, so you got 4th down now. Mustangs trying to keep this drive alive. They're down 14, so still a 2-possession game, but that clock such a factor now. There's Holmes on 4th and 8. The Colony will rush 4 here. Holmes steps up, throws, it is caught. A good timing route to Luke Stewart.
Yeah, Luke Stewart and Cale Thompson have been very active. Really the favorite targets for Jalen Holmes tonight.
Big targets, too. Stewart, 6 foot. Cale Thompson, 6'1", 200-pound senior. It's what they've done tonight after the catch that's been so impressive tonight.
On the touchdown drive in the first half, it was Cale Thompson who had a really impressive and strong 18, 20-yard catch. Majority of that were his legs after the catch.
From the 37. Holmes with time now. Throws it, tipped up and intercepted, and going back the other way. Taken down at the 28. That'll be the ball game. Just an unfortunate interception ball that was tipped up and picked.
And you hate it for Jalen because his numbers are going to look like he didn't have a great day without his 3rd interception, but he did play really well. So, yeah, tough one here for Grapevine. The fight was there all night long, and it's going to fall a little short.
So it'll be at the 26, 27-yard line, and with just one timeout for Grapevine, Colony will be able to just run out the clock. Mustangs will fall to 0-7. The Colony would get to 4-4 and get their 2nd district win. We'll bring on Gaines, the quarterback position. Had a big night tonight with a couple of touchdown receptions. They're going to take it and run. Let him run the football. There's a penalty marker.
I was wondering if we were going to get this note in all night, but this game about to be coming to an end. How about last night? The Cleveland Guardians had the walk-off.
Yeah, that's right.
Against the Yankees. It was David Fri who hit it, and David Fri, a Grapevine graduate.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
I didn't either. You texted me that today. I had no idea. 1st and 15. Gaines. I think they're just trying to get him some work right here. Well, you've had some great baseball talent come through Grapevine.
Desan Hill last year
Yeah.
is a guy that was committed to play at Dallas Baptist University, ends up getting drafted early and going the professional ranks. Won a state title last year. Coach Jimmy Webster there.
It's a Grapevine program that's rich in football tradition. You got to feel like the Mustangs are going to be back. This has just been a down year, a very tough year filled with a lot of adversity. But one thing you've just never seen from them is any kind of give up or quit. And tonight was another outstanding effort from Bob DeBess's team.
They don't have to snap the ball anymore. It should be it.
Well, the Colony is going to get out of here and get back home with a win in tow. 14-point victory. What a wild ball game tonight. 9 turnovers between these two teams. Grapevine came battling back, but they fall short tonight as the clock ticks down to 0. And Grapevine falls 39-25, our final score. That's going to do it for us tonight. Grapevine will be back in action next Friday. The Mustangs go on the road. They travel to Mansfield to take on Mansfield Timberview. We'll be on the air at 6:30 kickoff, set for 7 o'clock next Friday. So until then, from our broadcast partner, Brendan Smith, For our producer in the booth, AJ Suarez, and our statistician, Mason Mears, and our entire crew, I'm Reagan Ratcliffe saying good night and God bless from Mustang Panther Stadium in Grapevine. This has been a presentation of Mustang Friday Night on Tradio.